Free lunch, too. Gwatney Buick GMC, home of the Angel Tree and Toys for Tots drop-off point. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. 501-945-4444. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit. Stock numbers 19495, 9250, 19181, 19606, 19300.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See Shelter Agent Paul Griffin in Monticello, Sam Eklund in Star City, or Kyle Stone in Pine Bluff.
Chances are, this Thanksgiving you'll take your family to grandmother's house. But every year, hundreds never make it because they weren't buckled up.
This is Thanksgiving Day.
Arkansas law enforcement wants to make sure you arrive safely, so buckle up. Wearing your seatbelt not only saves you from getting a ticket, it could save your life.
Click it or ticket. A reminder from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
RJ Hawk here with Chris Roberts from Southern Bank. And Chris, I know interest rates are high right now. That's what everybody's talking about. But if you're thinking about a project, whether it be a commercial project or you want to build a house, now's the time to come talk to you about what those future plans may look like.
You know, RJ, no matter what the business environment may be, we're always there to sit down with our customers and talk about their future plans and what's going on with their businesses.
And that's one thing about Southern Bank is they're a community bank. They want to be your partner.
Partnering with our customers is a key to how we do business.
And Chris, you know, we talk about those interest rates being high, but the one good news out of that is deposit rates.
We have some great CD and checking account rates. Just give us a call and see what one of our personal bankers can do for you.
If you want more information about interest rates or those deposit rates that we just talked about, call Chris and his team today at 501-424-0900 or go online at bankwithsouthern.com. Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is your oak lawn a roaring crowd and thundering thoroughbreds? Or is it betting long shots over cold beer and corned beef? For all the reasons we love it, live racing is back at Oaklawn starting December 8th. Champion thoroughbreds, more race days, and the largest purses in the track's history. Join us for opening day, December 8th. Make your reservations now at oaklawn.com. What's your Oaklawn? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
You're in the zone, coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only racing casino resort. Now, here's Justin Acree and Wes Moore on the Buzz Radio Network. The Zone at the Little Rock Touchdown Club is brought to you by Arkansas Urology, the state's leader for urological care, with unmatched expertise, state-of-the-art facilities, and the latest technology. Arkansas Urology is well-equipped to provide world-class care for all Arkansans. Clinics now open in Benton, Conway, Little Rock, and North Little Rock. Learn more at arkansasurology.com.
Much, never concerned with status, but still even in starstruck. Humble through opportunities, given this right to fact. The many misjudge because it makes the liver from right.
All right, welcome in. Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Urology. Glad you're with us, Wes Moore, Christian Weaver, Acree Free Zone today. And we got a lot to get to today. It is a packed show, and we are going to fly through this thing. Obviously, we're going to take some calls. We're going to talk some Razorback football. We're going to talk some NFL football. Good game last night. Sorry about it, Chiefs fans. I was rooting for you. I was pulling for the Chiefs last night. Not my favorite team, but sure did want them to beat the Eagles last night. Goodness gracious, what a terrible second half for the Chiefs. It continues to be a problem. I had no idea until the broadcast crew pointed it out last night that the Chiefs' offense, second half offense, is the worst in the NFL. They average 5 points a game. Well, they couldn't even get 5 points last night. They couldn't even get 3. Nothing. Nada. And they lose 21-17 to the Eagles. Man, I was feeling good. And I bet I don't know how Chiefs fans were feeling, but you're up 17-7 at the half, and really your defense looked really good. Your offense was you put up 17 points, you scored a couple of touchdowns, and that was with a red zone interception by Mahomes. But I felt like they were in control of the game. And even the broadcast crew felt like that, too, because they said, you feel like Kansas City's got this under control, and you look up, it's only a 10-point game. And right after they said that, here comes Philadelphia. They score. 3-point game. Get the ball back. Score. Take the lead. And then Mahomes. I thought Mahomes was going to do a Mahomes. I thought he would lead them down there, and they'd get that game-winning touchdown. And really, he did everything he could. And he threw it up there, perfect deep ball, and the receiver drops it. And that's it. That was basically the ball game, because then they were facing after a penalty, a 4th and something ridiculous, and game over. And the Eagles win. And Christian, there's not much debate right now. The Eagles are the best team in the NFL, right?
I would tend to agree. Yes.
I mean, if you're going to debate, who would you make? I mean, the 49ers may be back on track. I'm not buying Detroit. I'm sorry. Sorry, pigskin.
I mean, they're a good team. I don't think they're the best team.
No. And I don't even know if they're the second best team. That's why I pose that question at you, and I think we can make it the question of the day. Who is the second best team in the NFL?
Who do you think should be the options? The Chiefs, Baltimore?
I don't know if the Chiefs are in there. I honestly, I don't, because we got to have 4, right?
Yeah.
Baltimore for sure. Miami for sure.
Yeah.
49ers?
Yeah.
And I think you
can choose between Detroit or Kansas City, I would think.
I'm going Dallas.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Dallas just went to Philadelphia and played them better than Kansas City did. Dallas should have won that game. I guess you can argue Kansas City should have won that game, but they were home. Dallas went on the road. I'm biased. Yes, I know that. Maybe 4 is other. And you comment.
Yeah, I think we just put 4 as other.
Yeah, because, you can make an argument. I can make an argument. It's Dallas, Joke Line and Rebecca can make an argument. It's Kansas City, and Pigskin can make an argument. It's Detroit.
It is funny. It's like Kansas City has, a potential greatest of all time quarterback, and he's throwing to a bunch of slaps at wide receivers.
It's Kelsey and trash. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah, the wide receivers are not good.
Hey, in Philadelphia, secondary is not good. That's the weakness of their team. And we just saw Dallas exploited their secondary. It's tough to run on Philadelphia. If you beat Philadelphia, you can beat them by throwing it. And they couldn't do it last night. And really, Philadelphia had a smart game plan. You focus a lot of attention on Kelsey. He's going to get his, but you do everything you can to keep him from beating you. And you got to make those wide receivers beat you. And it worked last night because those wide receivers could not beat Philadelphia last night. I'm not sold on Detroit. I am sold on San Francisco. I think they're healthy now, and they're going to start playing and living up to being one of the best teams in the NFL. And I still think they're the team to beat when it comes to winning the NFC regular season title and having that number 1 seed. They have a pretty easy schedule, and if they take care of business down the stretch, I think they can come back and win the NFC East, or the NFC title, or the number 1 seed at least. And Dallas has got to take advantage of their schedule. Dallas's next couple games are very winnable. And
you get Washington on Thanksgiving. That's an easy one.
Yep. And then you come back the next week with another home game against, it's blowing my mind right now, Seattle. Very winnable game at home.
Very winnable. Yeah.
And then you get Philadelphia at home. And you get an extra, you're playing the back-to-back Thursday games, get a little extra rest. Philadelphia comes in, a chance to knock them off, and there's the possibility with that win, you're tied for the NFC East. Philadelphia's schedule coming up is very tough. But then it gets very difficult for Dallas. Dallas's last 4 or 5 games are hard. I think it's an outside shot to win the NFC East for Dallas. I'm not going to bet them to win the NFC East on Oakland. I'm not that, I'm not that confident, honestly, in Dallas winning the East. But Detroit, they escaped against Chicago, and Chicago's is not good. They escaped this past Sunday. They should not have won that game. They won it because Chicago lost it.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the NFL sometimes.
And that's the Lions, too. They play a lot of close games. I was pulling up their remaining schedule. Green Bay, at New Orleans, at Chicago, Denver at home, at Minnesota, at Dallas, and then Minnesota at home. I don't think it's necessarily I don't think they're going to win the NFC.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that they get number 1 seed. So point differential, 2 teams are tied at the top.
Miami?
Cowboys? Nope. Your Cowboys and Baltimore both have a 127 point differential.
Wow. I figured Miami would be up there after beating the heck out of Denver that one game.
Yeah, they're at 67.
Baltimore's good. I've watched their game and Sunday, and they are legit good. Defense good. Lamar Jackson good. They've got speed. They've got weapons. That's a talented team. I think the Chiefs, they're going to face some problems with Baltimore and Miami. 2 good offenses. 49ers remaining schedule at Seattle, at Philadelphia, home against Seattle, at Arizona, home against Baltimore, at Washington, home against the Rams. It's not as easy as I thought it was.
No.
All right, let's make that. I like it. I think it's a good discussion.
So our options are Ravens, Niners, and
Dolphins?
Ravens, Niners, Dolphins is the top 3 choices?
I think so.
I'm fine with that.
Other?
Yep.
Go with other. All right. Thursday games in the NFL, Packers, Lions. That's our 11:30 game on Fox. You get a chance to watch those Lions. I watched a little bit of the Packers game too. And I know Love passed for 300 yards for the first time, but they're just not that impressive.
Yeah, he puts up some numbers occasionally, but I'm not impressed with the with the eye test, I should say.
And then the 3:30 game on CBS, Commanders at the Cowboys.
I'm not particularly interested in either one of these games. I mean, of course, the second game I'll watch because I'm a Washington fan, but I don't think either one of these are good games.
What's the issue with the Commanders' defense?
The talent's there. I just think it's Jack Del Rio. I'm ready for Jack and Ron to be gone. I think we'll be a lot better.
Are teams running on Washington or throwing? Both?
Yeah. Which, I mean, we did trade off Montez Sweat and Chase Young, so now our pass rush is pretty terrible. But our defense is not very good.
The night game on Thursday is the 49ers at Seattle. That's a good game. That's on NBC.
Yeah, it's a decent one.
7-3 49ers, 6-4 Seahawks. So that's the best game of the day.
Yeah, I like how the first Black Friday game we get is Dolphins versus Jets.
Dolphins are fun to watch. They are. Now, the Jets' defense is really good. So you're not going to get to see, I don't expect, Miami putting up 35, 40 points, like they're capable of doing, because that Jets' defense is really good. So I think it's going to be one of those kind of ugly games where the Dolphins win it 24-7, or maybe 24-6.
They finally benched Zach Wilson, so maybe Tim Boyle can come in and have some magic.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of him, and look, it was his first start and first game, but I don't see him as the answer either.
No, definitely not. He's a stopgap.
All right, let's talk some Razorback football. Look, we got some time right here to take some phone calls because it's going to be pretty packed from here on out. Clint Conk joins us at the bottom of the hour. Let me know when Coach Conk is in. We're going to the Natural State Football Report. We're talking Razorbacks, Red Wolves. Man, what a win for the Red Wolves. UAPB gets a win. D2, Henderson falls in the playoffs. But, we got Harding ready to start their playoff run this weekend. And then high school football. Coach Cutcliffe will join us. Again, we're at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Urology. Pat Bradley at 11:30. We'll talk about the Bahamas and the battle for Atlantis. And then Eli Craner at 11:45. Birthdays, entertainment, and then Coach Cutcliffe from the podium at 12:15, 12:20ish. So this is it. If you want to jump in here and talk some Razorback football or Razorback basketball, if you've already moved on, we can do that. I'm excited for this. I'll be honest, I'm more excited about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the Bahamas and watching the basketball team than I am right now about Missouri. Now, that could all change come Friday at kickoff, and I'll definitely be in front of the TV ready to watch that game, and I hope they can go out. That was one of the things Coach Pittman was discussing yesterday was how valuable he believes it is to finish the season with the win and have a little momentum, a good taste in your mouth. He also pointed out they haven't beaten a ranked team this year. And he said they've done that in every other year that he's coached there at Arkansas. They've knocked off at least one ranked opponent. And so that's something that they would like to do, and kind of the incentive, something that he's preaching to the team this week, besides, finishing on a good note, sending the seniors out on a good note. He wants to knock off a ranked Missouri team, and we keep talking it's not a rivalry, and I agree with it. I think they're going to try to force it into a rivalry, and that could happen over time. I do think it will happen over time. But it's going to take Arkansas getting some wins when it's Missouri constantly beating you, and this would be a great time for it.
I think the disdain for Missouri is there just because they beat us every year, and we feel like they shouldn't. But it'll take a while before I feel like they're a rival.
Yeah, and when we say a while, I think it takes like 10 years, another decade.
Yeah.
But you need some big games, some important games. And right now, this is an important game. But what you need is, and that's the unfortunate thing. Well, in the past, this was East versus West. And, when you were playing LSU, there were some times that decided, who would win the West. There were a couple of years. It was always a big game. With two teams in different divisions, it's a little different. You're not like trying to finish ahead of Missouri in the East or the West. So I think next year going to one big league, that could help a little bit because they're no longer in another division. They're just right there in the standings with you in the SEC, and you're trying to finish ahead of Missouri. So this game could bring a little bit more importance in the future. But it sure would be nice this year to knock off a good Missouri team and ruin their season. And that's what they need to be preaching. Ruin Missouri's chance for a 10-win season. That would be sweet. To prevent them. Look, there's a chance Missouri, with the win, is going to a major bowl, a New Year's Day bowl. You beat them here, that may not happen. Probably wouldn't happen. It will not happen. So you can ruin their very good season. That's another little incentive. Coach Coxon, what's up, man?
Good morning. Sorry, I'm not with you at the Touchdown Club, but I'm here in studio.
You should have just come on down. You should have.
Chaos.
It's not bad. No, it's not. It's hey, coach. There's a lot of people.
Coach Cutcliffe will do a great job.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I respect the heck out of him. Did you ever have any dealings with him?
No, not directly, but certainly great respect from a distance what he did with the Manning boys, both at Tennessee with Peyton and, of course, the head coach at Ole Miss with Eli. And then what he did at Duke, he for a long period of time laid a great foundation there at Duke, had a lot of success. And Coach Elko has built upon that there at Duke, but just a tremendous amount of success followed Coach Cutcliffe wherever he went.
I was talking about you this weekend. We were watching the Baltimore Ravens and that explosive offense, and they showed Todd Monken up in the press box. I was like,
there you go, Monk.
We interviewed him at the Broyles Award last year, and I was like, that guy's a character. I think he wore Christian out in the dump button, and I was explaining the dump button and how it works and how you have to build up some more delay, and he was letting the cuss words fly so quickly we couldn't get all of them. But that was a great conversation between you and Coach Monken.
Yeah, Todd and I crossed paths at Louisiana Tech. I was kind of walking out the door, and he was walking in. Matter of fact, I was on my way to Central Arkansas and to be the head coach, and I had an opportunity to visit with him. And, of course, over the years at conventions and clinics and things like that. But very bright, very smart, made a lot of great decisions of the places he's worked. He's worked with some incredible people, and a natural progression, in my mind, for him to go from winning a couple of national championships at Georgia and then taking on Lamar Jackson and moving to the Baltimore Ravens. And I think his imprint is just starting to show up now, 10 games into the season. But still, I think that's an evolving offense that, hopefully will make its mark here down the stretch in the NFL.
Is he a head coach at some point? in the future, or do you think that he's got what he's found what he is, and that's a very good offensive coordinator?
Yeah, and I don't know that I can answer that question. That's probably better for Todd, but I think he would probably tell you that he's very happy with what he's doing. He's the head coach of half the team, and that seems to work for a lot of guys. Some guys are great position coaches, and that's all they want to do, and I know a bunch of those dudes. Some are great coordinators, and that's all they want to do. And then there's others that are very good at what they do and aspire to take on more responsibility. And I'm not sure where he lies with that, I should say. But I do know this: he's very bright, very energetic, very colorful, and but gets the job done.
How old is he?
He's probably a few years younger than me. I'm going to say 56, maybe.
A few years younger than you. I was going to guess like 30-ish.
No, he's in his 50s.
I was joking.
Oh, you were joking. Yeah, well, that's nice.
Acting like you were younger.
I'll buy you lunch after this.
Usually you don't see, especially in the NFL, first-time head coaches be that old. Not that he's like an elderly, but
right. Well, I think that he's found his niche. I thought that was a big move for him to go back to the NFL, and I think he was a position coach at one time, maybe with the Jaguars or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and so he might be very content with what he's doing, Wes, but he's sharp now.
Mm-hmm.
He's sharp, and he can coach football.
Yeah, I like him a lot. All right, let's take a call before we take this break and get Coach Conk on here officially. JW is going to join us. And JW, I'm surprised we didn't hear from you yesterday.
Well, I was tied up yesterday with a client, but I was listening, but I couldn't call. But I'm actually calling for what I heard yesterday on the show. I was listening to that when y'all came on, that interview with Pittman, whining about the media, and I was on Hog Sports, so I was watching one interview with him, then I was watching another one. And I kind of went down in a rabbit hole of the season of how he was talking. Do you know this man? And you can go back and look for yourself. You can say what you want about JW when he gets off, but you can go back. He doesn't ever really take blame. Okay? How about you being a bad coach has something to do with the recruits not wanting to come? How about you take some responsibility and doing your homework on Enos, only being at one place 1 year at each time, and being best at 8-5 when he was here? How about take some responsibility? And all I hear, and I just want to get your thoughts. You know how I feel about Pittman, and I'm tired of hearing I love the guy. I don't want somebody I love. I want somebody I want to win. Okay? I'm not here to meet spring. If I want that, I go to church. I want a football player. I want a football team. I want a football coach. I want somebody to act like it. I want somebody to take responsibility. And like the offensive line, if it's not working halfway through, I'm going to inject myself into it, and I'm going to change it right then. That's all I'm going to say, is I'm going to ask, instead of deflecting while we're the real problem, how about saying we're 4-7? We're about to be 4-8. That's why the recruits ain't coming here.
Yeah, I feel like multiple times this year we've played clips that have said, oh, that's on coaching. That's our fault. We didn't have the guys prepared. Like countless times probably this year. I think accountability has been taken, maybe to a fault.
Coach Pittman is honest to a fault, and sometimes he says things I wish he wouldn't say, and I think they could have somebody to help him out a little bit, to PR-wise. Say, hey, Coach, what are you thinking about here? What are you going to say? No, let's don't say that. Coach him up a little bit. This is the first time he's been a head coach and had to deal with the media and that kind of and that kind of responsibility. And so he's learning on the job dealing with the media and doing press conferences. And I think he's struggled in some of his answers. I agree with you on a lot of those points, JW. As far as helping out with the offensive line, digging in there, going and assist, taking some accountability. But I don't agree with the recruiting. I feel like they do feel like they put together a really good class. They worked hard on it. They've got more 4-stars in this class than they've had in a long time. You can say whatever you want to say about where they rank against other SEC teams, but they took a hit when they got Crutchfield to decommit. But the feeling is they're going to get Crutchfield back, and that's what they're worried about. Think about it. You put all this work into this recruiting class, and then all these rumors start, and then these guys start decommitting. That sucks. That's all that work. You just spent years doing that, and all it takes is somebody throwing out these rumors and talking and speculating that you're going to be fired. That's where they're coming from. I'm just telling you where they're coming from. Yes, if they would have won more, they wouldn't even be dealing with it because there would be no one talking about a coaching change. But the coaching change talks were they were premature. And I wish Hunter Yurachek would have put an end to it a week earlier, and I'm sure Coach Pittman would have too, but I don't know if they knew how rampant and how wild the talk was.
Well, I think Hunter Yurachek, I'm just speculating, I think Hunter Yurachek didn't put an end to it because he wanted to see the result of the FIU game. Because if something would have went south in FIU.
I've heard the theory, but I don't know. I don't know if that would have changed enough for some of the donors to step up and say, because from what I've been told, he already had the pulse, and that money wasn't coming in. Maybe that another bad loss helps that money come in, maybe.
Yeah. I just think if you lost to FIU at home, that would, you would have had no choice. Almost.
Push it over the top. Wait, yeah, you always have a choice. Like I said before, if you don't have the money and you don't want to be paying it off over the next 6 years and you got some other things you got to spend that money on, it may not happen. But the fact is he's back and he's going to be here next year. So there's nothing. Move on. I've already moved on. I'm ready.
Well, and I've got an opinion on all that, but we'll get that on the other side.
Well, let's move on, Coach. Let's move on and take a break. And we'll bring in Coach Conklin and talk some Natural State football when we come back. It is Black Friday week, and there's some great Black Friday sales out there. We've been telling you about these Black Friday sales for a while. Big O Tires has got a big one right now. Big O Tires, 2 great locations. They're in Conway and they're in Cabot. Their Black Friday sale will save you a ton of money. Look, you need to get your car winterized, get it ready. Some things you need to do for your car right now. Huge savings on service. $140 instant savings on select set of Michelin tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper tires. Sumitomo tires. Almost every tire. In stock, they have some kind of instant savings or rebate. So if you've been looking for a new set of tires, now's the time to act. Big O Tires, Cabot and Conway. In Conway, they're on Harkrider. Cabot is Prospect Court right in front of Kroger. Go see our friends at Big O Tires, the team we trust.
Join Kevin McPherson, Arkansas's premier basketball recruiting analyst, each Friday on Drive Time Sports. Brought to you by Fence Brokers. Fence Brokers, going the extra mile.
This is Sports Center.
The Thanksgiving week in pro and college football got started last night with a Super Bowl rematch as the Philadelphia Eagles go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs 21-17. The Eagles improved to 9-1 overall. The Chiefs dropped to 7-3. Kansas City had a 10-point advantage in the half. The Eagles erased that, outscoring Kansas City 14-0 in the second frame of the game. Jalen Hurts was 14 for 22 for 150 yards, but he ran for 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift also found the end zone as well. Tonight, the week in college football begins as there is Maction on a Tuesday. First at 6 o'clock on ESPNU, Bowling Green looks to get to 7-5 against Western Michigan. Then at 6:30 on ESPN2, Eastern Michigan looks to become bowl eligible as they take on Buffalo. I'm Josh Neighbors for the Buzz Radio Network.
The king of Arkansas sports talk, Randy Rainwater for Bet Saracen.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick 'em, you win 'em.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Mark McClarty Ford's month-long Black Friday sales event is happening now with brand new F-150s at $13,000 off MSRP and 1.9% financing available. Only at Mark McClarty Ford in North Little Rock. No payments for 9 months. Only at Mark McClarty Ford's month-long Black Friday event. Buy a new Edge or Bronco Sport and make no payments for 9 whole months. That's August of 2024. Only at Mark McClarty Ford in North Little Rock.
Hey Razorback fans, it's Queen Grovey. Check out the new location of Bellins Ford in Conway. Boots, shirts, vests, also polos with Arkansas logo gear from Johnny O and Peter Millar. A store within a store with Arkansas-made Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. Fantastic service with a tailor on staff to fit you perfectly. Go to the new location, Bellins Ford, 1011 Oak Street, Conway, or on Facebook and Instagram.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months, and River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
Come on, man. Welcome back to the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Give us a call at 661-1037. Now, back to the zone on the Buzz Radio Network.
Don't call it a comeback.
If you're paying over 8% interest on your auto loan, you need to stop and call True Service Community Federal Credit Union. They may be able to lower your rate and your payment. This could possibly knock a year off your note. Give them a shot. See what they can do for you. You can also improve or upgrade your home with a True Service home equity loan. Kitchen remodeling, bathroom, custom shower, new windows, or even a new pool. Get one of the lowest interest rates in the nation with a True Service Visa Platinum card. They offer no transfer fees, no over-limit fees, no annual fees. 3 locations. They're in Little Rock next to the Butcher Shop. In North Little Rock on JFK. They're also on the campus of Hendrix College. Apply online at trueservice.net. Get pre-approved today.
It's time for the Natural State Football Report with Clint Conk. Taking a closer look at football across the great state of Arkansas with the winningest coach in UCA history. The Natural State Football Report is brought to you by Farm Brothers Flying Service. For the past decade, they've been providing crop dusting services to the farmers of southeast Arkansas, and they can help you too. Now, let's toss around the pigskin in the zone with Justin, Wes, and the coach.
All right, officially, he is here. You teased us, Coach. Thoughts on Coach Pittman and returning to Arkansas?
Yeah, I tend to agree with Christian a little bit. I think the athletic director, Hunter Yurachek, wanted to make sure that there wasn't an implosion against Florida International. And even though the game might have been closer than maybe the experts had predicted, started off kind of shaky, the result was predictable. And I think immediately that's why he visited with the team after to announce that, Coach Pittman would be returning. And I think it does one thing in particular. It takes the pressure off of Coach Pittman in the short term. And really, a lot of the conversation now goes to the athletic director, Hunter Yurachek, which he's very stable and, he can be at Arkansas probably for as long as he wants. But now he's in it a little bit deeper by making that announcement. And so it does transfer a little bit of that pressure off of Pittman to free him up just a little bit in the short term, and transfers that pressure maybe to Yurachek for making that decision. Coach Morris comes off the payroll, I think, in December. I'm not sure where the finances were, but apparently, according to you, that maybe the money wasn't there to pay out $16, $18 million. And then the other thing, too, you blow it up, you're probably looking at a 2-year restart. I mean, it's probably take a couple of years to reboot it, hire a coach, and then get his staff in and so forth and so on. So in the short term, it was probably the right decision. But I'm like Christian. I do think he wanted to make sure that they escaped with a win. And then, there were actually more fans there than I thought that might be there. And so there was I don't know, there were 60,000 as reported, but there was a fairly good crowd based on the type of the year they had, cold weather, deer season, duck season, all those kind of things. So I'm glad he's back. I think he's a good guy. I do, like you, believe that somebody in the sports information office or the PR department, every year we would bring somebody in to talk to our team about handling interviews. And I had my coaches sit in on those because I thought it was valuable for them because they all do interviews during the year. Of course, the head coach does as well. So this has been a big experiment because he had never been a head coach, never been a coordinator, never called an offensive play. With that being said, I think now, the honeymoon is certainly over. He's going to have to rebuild this football team in less than 1 year where it's cohesive, hire an offensive coordinator, and then he's going to have to show results on the field, no question about it.
Coach, how
I think
important
at
is
this
it, do
point,
you
it's
think?
probably the right decision, sir?
How important is it you think the new OC maybe has some head coaching experience? Because we saw how important it was that Coach Odom was there, and I wonder how much Coach Odom was in. And Coach Pittman told us that he was his right hand man, that he was always bouncing ideas off of him. I think he did miss Coach Odom this season. How important do you think it is maybe to get an OC that has some head coaching experience that he can be bouncing things off of?
I think if it works out that way, then great. I do think Coach Odom was a sounding board. Matter of fact, I just had this discussion this morning with some other people. I think that he missed that. There needs to be somebody in that building that's long in the tooth, wise, has some experience maybe in that realm or SEC or with Arkansas. And I do think he missed that. With that said, though, I think it's crucial that he hires the best offensive coordinator schematically for what they want to do and that can connect with the kids. And, because sometimes I just wonder how hard some of those guys played for Coach Enos. I don't know that. But, body language says a lot. It screams. And sometimes body language wasn't all that positive. And so I think if they can find somebody that has head coach experience, great. I think it's crucial, though, that the number one criteria is that they hire an established, experienced offensive coordinator that can really connect and build trust with the players.
Coach, is it going to be difficult to get one of those guys? Because if you're outside looking in and you don't have the year that you think, then you're looking for another job the next year. Because I think everyone realizes out there probably in the coaching community that Coach Pittman's on a short leash.
Yeah, those jobs pay $1 million a year or close to it, plus or minus.
Yeah, Enos was 1.2, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So you're probably going to have to get somebody on a 2-year deal, guaranteed for 2 years. I tell you, I'm gonna throw a name out right now. I'm gonna jump out in front of the pile. Buster Faulkner. Buster Faulkner, coach from me, coach quarterbacks. Went on offense coordinator, Middle Tennessee, Southern Miss, Arkansas State. Spent 3 years, won 2 national championships at Georgia as an offensive analyst. He is now the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, and look what they've done this year. They're bowl eligible, and they've come. They were predicted to finish last or next to last in the ACC, and they're going to a bowl and pretty dead-gum competitive. And I know they got Georgia this week. Additionally, Buster worked with Sam Pittman, I believe. That they know each other from maybe their time at Georgia or cross paths. But Buster's a Georgia guy, but he's done a wonderful job as the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech. He's that right age, I think, in his late 40s. But looking for somebody like that that can connect with the players, that has offensive coordinator experience, some SEC ties, understands the pressure from week to week. But I think that's the number one criteria is hire somebody, the best coordinator that can connect with the players, implement the scheme, and get them to play hard and get them to play sounder. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm looking at their offensive totals. Pretty impressive. 34, 48, 23 against Ole Miss in a loss, 30, 27, 23 against Miami, 23 in a loss against Boston College, 46 points against North Carolina, 45 against Virginia, 21 at Clemson, 31 last week against Syracuse.
I'm just saying. I mean, I think that would be a guy that I would have a resume in front of me. There may be obviously other more qualified or he may have somebody in mind, but I've just followed Buster. He was on my staff for 1 short year. We had a lot of success. I knew how he coached quarterbacks and the development of players and the relationships he had. And I would think that he would be a guy in a pool of candidates that maybe Coach Pittman would, because he does have some SEC ties, having been at Georgia, I think, for 3 or 4 years. Yep.
All right, let's move to Arkansas State. Coach, I was hanging Christmas lights and listening to the UCA game on the radio on my earbuds, and I sat down after finishing up. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about Arkansas State. Let me check out that score. I did a double take. I was like, what? 77?
Yeah. How about them Red Wolves, man? And, we've been talking since they made the quarterback change. It's just been a different football team, I think, week 3 or week 4. And congratulations. Coach, Jones and the whole staff up there, that football team, hey, they scored 4 non-offensive touchdowns last week. I mean, that kickoff returns, scoops and scores, interception returns. I mean, they did it all, and just an impressive. And I know it was your Texas State Bobcats. I apologize.
No.
But,
I'd much rather Arkansas State win that game.
But, I mean, they got a chance to win 7. I mean, they're going to a bowl. They can enhance their bowl situation with the win at Marshall this week. And then, look, they're getting it done with 2 young running backs from the state of Arkansas, Jaquez Cross from Hampton and Zach Wallace from Benton. Those guys combined for 5 touchdowns, over 200 yards rushing. Of course, Cross ran back the kickoff. I believe he's gotten some conference and national honors this week.
Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week and the Sunbelt Special Teams Player of the Week. It's the first time in Sunbelt history that a guy won both awards in the same week.
The quarterback's just playing so efficient, making good decisions, no interceptions, maybe one here and there. But, Courtney Jackson stepped up. Corey Rucker's kind of been in the program for a while. Hey, and they beat a good football team. Texas State's bowl eligible. T.J. Finley, that name may sound familiar. He was quarterback at LSU and at Auburn. He's a starting quarterback at Texas State. So, great win. Big time, momentum builder that's going to help in recruiting. You talk about body language and attitude and culture. This is the kind of year that Coach Jones, in year 3 really needed to have. And I was in Northeast Arkansas last week, and there's some excitement up there about what they're doing. Now, I think it was you got to show me and prove me that, that you can get it done. And I think that they're headed in the right direction. I mean, they're going to a bowl game, and they can win Saturday against Marshall. It'll be win number 7, and then they could win their bowl game and win 8 games this year. Wes, that's awesome.
That would be
awesome.
incredible. I thought it was great for UAPB to get that win this past week. That gives them a whole different feeling in the offseason.
No question about it. 22 points in the fourth quarter to come back and win 35-34. Now the real work begins. Coach Hampton understands what he has, what he doesn't have. He's probably got to make some tough decisions in personnel and some of those things, but he knows where he wants to go. That will give them a little bit of impetus going forward, and certainly put a hop in their step going into the offseason. Obviously, 2-9 is not where you want to be, but scoring 22 in the fourth quarter to win his first SWAC win this year. Let's see what the offseason looks like and if he can put a little bit more competitive team on the field next year.
And our Bears just couldn't get it done offensively. That was a surprise to me. I thought they were going to be able to go and score some points, and I did. I thought they were going to win that game. So I was heartbroken for them.
Yeah, I listened to the game too, every play, and just disappointed, and expectations, and Justin talked about it early in the year, talking to Coach Brown. It was just so high, and really good football team. I mean, UCA has a really, really good football team. The teams that they lost to all won 8 or 9 games, or Oklahoma State going to a bowl game. Not having that 7th D1 game and possible win hurt them. Still don't know if they'd have got in because there were several really good teams that got left out. We expected a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
It ended up being a defensive struggle. So give both defenses a lot of credit for that. 14-12, excuse me. But to your point, 3 of 18 on third down, 7 penalties for 75 yards, and a couple of them were critical drive, killers, and then, extended drives for Austin Peay. Some drop balls at critical times of the game. A really good football team. Played against a really good defense in Austin Peay. Just came up short. But here's the good news. UCA was coming off of 2 5-6 back-to-back seasons. They go 7-4 this year. They just miss out on the conference championship. They're going to have their quarterback back, Will McIlvain, for like his 7th year, I think, or something like that. There's a lot of young pieces on offense. They do have some retooling probably on defense. I think they had several seniors there, some good players. I think their punter's back and maybe their kicker's back. So I suspect that UCA will put themselves, Coach Brown, back in the same situation next year with a little bit more favorable schedule. I think they've got 10 FCS games next year. So I think the future looks really, really bright in Conway.
All right,
as disappointing as it is right now.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Coach, let's take a quick break, come back, talk Harding and high school football. We'll hit on the H's when we come back. How's that sound?
Fantastic.
All right. Gwatney Chevrolet, right now, it's Black Friday. We keep telling you about these great Black Friday deals, and they've got a great one at Gwatney Chevrolet. Black Friday, and they are blowing it out. They always do at Gwatney Chevrolet, but this year they're going old school with their Black Friday deals. How about a 2023 diesel Silverado over $6,500 off? 2024 Silverados under $40,000. That's a great deal. Get a brand new truck, a 2024 under $40,000. All 2023 Equinox in stock, $3,250 off, and no payments for 120 days. Go to the website, GwatneyChevrolet.com, take a look at all the inventory, and then get ready to go out there early on Friday. They're opening it at 7 with breakfast served. Get the best deal when you get out there early. Early bird gets the worm. Early bird at Gwatney gets the car. Gwatney Chevrolet.
It's what is trouble. It seems we're
Looking for somewhere new downtown to hang out with all of your friends for football? Then there's only one place, and that's Little Rock's newest neighborhood sports bar, The Busker on South Main. The Busker features an upscale bar menu with great beer, wine, and cocktail selections, as well as weekday happy hours from 4 till 7 and late nights from 10 till close. So watch all your favorite college and NFL games on the Sunday Ticket this fall, where you won't miss a minute of the action on their big screen TVs. All this, including live music on the weekends, can only be found at The Busker on South Main.
It's Lazy Boy's Black Friday sale. Enjoy after Christmas relaxation with huge before Christmas savings. Doorbuster special saving you as much as 50% off on select final markdowns. At these prices, everyone will have a comfy spot to enjoy all those leftovers. Plus, no interest financing for 60 months. Buy now, relax later with Lazy Boy's biggest sale of the year. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the Lazy! Jackalope Cycling is passionate about the Arkansas outdoors. To help you enjoy this beautiful state, Jackalope offers an array of bike rentals to get you on the trails. What about fly fishing from a bicycle? You can't do that, but Jackalope also offers fly rods, reels, waders, fly fishing accessories, outdoor and camping gear. Yeah, it'll be tough riding a bicycle and waders. But you can still enjoy the Arkansas outdoors with Jackalope Cycling in Russellville or jackalopecycling.com.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Radio legend Tommy Smith never hesitates when asked to name his all-time favorite Razorback, All-American wide receiver Chuck Dicus. Dicus rewrote the record book for the Hogs, who were 28-5 during his years in Fayetteville. The silky smooth pass catcher caught 12 passes for 169 yards in an MVP performance in the 1969 Sugar Bowl. Number 20 is an all-time Razorback and a college football Hall of Famer. Double B's is an Arkansas Hall of Fame performer, too. As we are here to give you great deals on the things you need. You need a stocking stuffer? Get that special someone an Exxon or Phillips 66 gift card. Something all of us can use. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
At Red River Ram Jeep, we're taking $10,000 off Ram HD trucks, all brand new 23 models. And we're taking $10,000 off 23 Jeep Gladiators. And we're taking up to 20% off on all 23 model Renegades in stock. Some people are saying I gave too much for my vehicle 2 years ago. Well, we gave too much for these vehicles right now. That's why they're $10,000 off. Check us out at redriverram.com for Arkansas's largest inventory during the Black Friday sales event.
It's Justin Acre here to tell you about our friends at Cash Restaurant, downtown Little Rock, and we're getting into cooler temperatures, which means the holidays will be here before you know it. So if you're thinking about booking a holiday party, there is no better place than Cash Restaurant downtown, where you'll find great food, great prices, great space, and also, how about free valet parking? If you're going to book a holiday party, though, get on it now. 501-850-0265. 501-850-0265 or online at cashlittlerock.com. If you've got a wedding function coming up, a corporate event, or again, a holiday party, no better place than Cash Restaurant. I love the variety available on the menu, too. Soups and salads, seafood steaks, and you can get pizzas over the lunch hour. Just a great spot spot to go down for lunch or dinner and again for a party. And they have a couple of different options on rooms. They've got the Bayou Room, which holds around 30 people, and upstairs a beautiful space for up to 150. Cash Restaurant, your go-to for lunch, dinner, and holiday party season. Get your event booked at CashLittleRock.com or 501-850-0265.
You're back in the zone, live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio on the Buzz Radio Network and online at 1037thebuzz.com.
Glenn Conk with us in the studio. I'm Wes Moore at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, brought to you by Arkansas Urology. Coach, we got about 5 minutes to squeeze everything in, so let's roll. Let's start with Harding. Got their first playoff game this weekend. What are you expecting?
Well, they're the number one seed. They're playing at home. They're playing Central Missouri out of the MIAA. And let me tell you, the MIAA has been compared to the Missouri Valley Conference in FCS football. So Central Missouri got after Henderson last week. I think it'll be a very physical, competitive game. But I think playing at home, they advance. Harding will advance.
High school football, semifinals, 7A, 6A, 5A, 2A. Quarterfinals in 4A and 3A. You get to go to one game Friday night. Where are you going?
Well, I'd go to Conway at Fayetteville. That is going to be an explosive football game. Conway showed a lot of moxie coming back last week. Fayetteville's the number one overall seed. I kind of picked them to win the state championship, but Conway's offense is prolific. If they can make a few stops early, they can make that a very good football game. If I had one place to go, that would be the place.
Okay, you surprised me. I'm going to Benton. I'm watching Little Rock Christian.
Little Rock
Benton.
Christian. Yep. That ought to be a great. I mean, there's some great games. I mean, Bentonville at Bryant's going to be good.
Yeah.
Dadgum. I mean, PA at Greenwood. That's a rematch. Greenwood's at home. Even in 5A, I mean, you've got Elkins at CAC. I picked Elkins to win the 4A state championship with Ryan Howard. They're scoring a bunch of points there.
If
Grayson
you like
Wilson,
offense, Coach, you go to CAC and Mustang Mountain. They're going to pile up the points. Elkins has been prolific. Of course, CAC's been scoring a ton of points. That's a fun game in 4A right there.
Who can make a stop? That'll be the key. Who can actually make a stop or create a turnover? And there'll be 120, 30 points scored in that game more than likely. But there's great games. Warren's at home against Ozark. I look for Warren to advance in 4A. Junction City at Glen Rose, kind of a rival game there. I mean, Prescott's at home. I mean, there are some really good high school football games. Shiloh at Pine Bluff, that'll be very interesting, kind of a class of different styles. So, and if you like high school football, this is the time of the year because you've got quarterfinal, semifinal games all over the state. Heck, you'll be in Little Rock at War Memorial Stadium in 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Yeah,
West for the 7A state championship. So
that's a week from Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, we got college football on tonight. We got college football on tomorrow night, Thursday, NFL and college, I believe. The Egg Bowl, Friday, the Razorbacks play, and I look for them to be competitive. I really do. I think there'll be some pressure. They'll let it all hang out. I think they'll be competitive. You've got some games on Saturday, Ohio State, Michigan, high school football Friday night. I mean, what a great week for college and NFL football the week of Thanksgiving. And it ought to be exciting. We'll have a lot to talk about next week, no question about it.
Well, Coach, I'm excited. Just, Central Arkansas, there have been years where the Friday after Thanksgiving, I didn't need a lot of photographers because there weren't a whole lot of local games. This year, I mean, you've got Bryant, you got Benton, you got Glen Rose, you've got Pine Bluff, you got Parkview at home, Harding Academy, CAC, Arkadelphia just down the road.
Yeah.
Bigelow, how about Bigelow? They're getting it done.
Yep, I'm counting 9, 10 Central, within 30 miles, 40 miles of Little Rock. Yeah, great high school football. So about half of the field is coming out of Central Arkansas. Let's see how many can win in advance and get to the finals, the semifinals, and the finals. And ought to be a great week of football for sure. I think the weather's going to be nice, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's 50s, and then once the sun goes down, it'll be a little chilly. But look, it's November, and it's not raining or sleeting or snowing, so I think it's great weather. It is what it is for this time of the year. Now, the next Saturday. Looking at the long-range forecast, and it's still, a lot of things can change, but it does not look as good for those state championship games on Saturday. May have some moisture in the air, but this week is going to be great football. Coach, thank you. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving and watch a lot of football.
You too, you and your family as well. And, again, thank you to Farm Brothers Flyers, their staff up there, Lance Gassaway, everybody that make this segment possible. We certainly we're going to get Lance on here in a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
Wes, hey, Oaklawn, December 9th?
Yeah.
So
not far.
Yep.
Coach,
Appreciate
thank
you
you.
guys.
David Cutcliffe's coming up next. You're in the zone.
Quality Outdoor Products in Alexander is your metal roofing superstore. 40-year warranty colors are available at only $289 a foot. 20-year colors are $259, and Gavaloom runs $249 a foot. A variety of seconds and overruns are currently available at $1.95 a foot. Come by Quality Outdoor Products in Alexander, right next to the I-30 Speedway. Stop by the lot, call them at 501-455-0240, or check out their website, qualityoutdoor.net.
Arkansas Brewskis is excited about their second location, and it's time to add to the team. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. To apply, drop by our downtown location and fill out an application. If you want to work in a fun, professional environment, this is for you. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. Apply in person at Brewskis downtown. For more info, check us out online at brewskispubandgrub.com. Brewskis, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Your home for Dallas Cowboys football is 103.7 The Buzz. Presented by Beechwood Pinnacle Hotels, America's team on your fun and game station, 103.7 The Buzz.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Don't worry, we don't understand ourselves either. 103.7 The Buzz. Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
The Izard County Sheriff's Office is warning the public about a new scam call. They've heard from several people in the county who have answered these calls already. They say when you pick up the phone that you can hear the sounds of a woman screaming, followed by the voice of a man telling them that their daughter has been in a car accident and they're in need of help. Again, this is a scam. The sheriff's office says the caller is trying to get your personal financial information, which should never be given out over the phone. So if you get a call like this, hang up and report it to your county sheriff. The Little Rock School District says Parkview Arts and Science Magnet High School is not going anywhere. The district confirmed it has no plans or intentions of closing the high school, refuting rumors that have been widely shared on social media. Parkview, as well as other schools, were mentioned during a public conversation on optimizing the school district's operation, but no decision has been made. From the Channel 7 newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
The rain is gone, but the clouds are sticking around. Today's high just 55 degrees, rather windy all day too. And tonight's low colder down to 38 degrees. Cool on Wednesday with a high around 53, but sunny and 58 Thanksgiving Day. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Roger Scott for Alcoa Community Federal Credit Union. The end of the year is going to be here before you know it. You know what that means? Great deals on a new ride. Alcoa Community FCU has some of the most aggressive auto loan rates in Central Arkansas. Apply securely online at alcoacommunityfcu.org for your next auto loan.
Catherine Eldridge here with Doe's Eat Place Little Rock, reminding you to call us and book your holiday party now. We can do parties from 7 to 65. Just call 501-376-1195 for more information and to book your group. And remember, Doe's Eat Place, for goodness sakes.
Happy holidays from the Little Rock Athletic Club and the Little Rock Racket Club. Two things happen in December: Santa Claus and 50% off all joining fees at the Little Rock Athletic Club and Racket Club. Take advantage of this one-time per year offer. 50% off all joining fees. A club membership makes the perfect Christmas gift. Visit one-time per-year offer is valid through December 31st. Don't put it off any longer and join the Little Rock Athletic Club or Racket Club for 50% off online at lrac.com.
Mark McClarty Ford's month-long Black Friday sales event is happening now with brand new F-150s at $13,000 off MSRP and 1.9% financing available. Only at Mark McClarty Ford in North Little Rock. No payments for 9 months. Only at Mark McClarty Ford's month-long Black Friday event. Buy a new Edge or Bronco Sport and make no payments for 9 whole months. That's August of 2024. Only at Mark McClarty Ford in North Little Rock.
Big Black Friday sale going on right now at Robert Irwin Jewelers. Buy gifts that give gifts. With every purchase of $299 or more, get a free gift with purchase. Now with 2 locations in the Little Rock area. The newest one in the Pleasant Ridge Town Center next to the Fresh Market.
Hi, neighbor. It's Garen with Shamrock Roofing. Insurance deny you coverage on that roof? You won't be denied at Shamrock. Visit shamrockroofer.com for a chance to win a new roof. Absolutely free. Just visit shamrockroofer.com, where one call does it all.
While you were busy rolling back your clock, Watney Chevrolet was rolling back Black Friday inventory to pre-COVID prices to create their biggest Black Friday sale ever for 2023, opening at 7 a.m. with free breakfast. Watney Chevrolet's Black Friday sale is not factory authorized. 2023 diesel Silverados, over $6,500 off MSRP. 2024 Silverados starting under $40,000. All 2023 Equinox in stock, up to $3,250 off MSRP. Get no payments for 120 days. But wait, there's more. During Watney's Black Friday sale, every new or used car sold includes a $250 gift card, plus an entry for a $1,000 grand prize drawing. Everyone's a winner during Watney Chevrolet's Black Friday sale. Doors open at 7 a.m. Watney Chevrolet, 1301 TP White Drive in Jacksonville. Call 501-982-2102. WatneyChevrolet.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. All offers with approved credit. Documents 24736 25064.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months, and River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard, just off 430.
Back-to-back Elite Eights, and last year the Sweet 16. How far will the team make it this season? Get the scoop on Mondays on Out of Bounds when senior point guard L. Ellis gives us his take on the basketball season. L. Ellis is brought to you by Matt Black with Allstate Insurance for your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, renters, and landlord insurance. Are you in good hands?
Walk On Sports Bistro puts everything into bringing you game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-Ons is always a win. Whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner, Walk-Ons have it covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers, and cocktails. Dig into mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp. Plus, fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Now open in Little Rock. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win. You ready? Let's go.
You're in the zone, coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only racing casino resort. Now, here's Justin Acree and Wes Moore on the Buzz Radio Network. 20% skill, 15% concentrated power. The Zone at the Little Rock Touchdown Club is brought to you by Arkansas Urology, the state's leader for urological care. With unmatched expertise, state-of-the-art facilities, and the latest technology, Arkansas Urology is well equipped to provide world-class care for all Arkansans. Clinics now open in Benton, Conway, Little Rock, and North Little Rock. Learn more at ArkansasUrology.com.
Big thanks to Arkansas Urology live once again. What a great year, and we're kind of wrapping it up today with Coach Cutcliffe. David Cutcliffe joins us now. My co-host, Justin Acree, is on the road. He covers UCA basketball, so he's out today. So Christian, I just found my co-host. Coach Cutcliffe was just putting on a show for us during the break. I think he could, until Wes makes him leave us and go into the inside to speak to everybody else, he can fill the next 30 minutes easily.
I've got a story or two, after 47 years in the coaching profession. And I think what's sad for young coaches today, everything's drastically changed, but the people that I was around, you're talking about Paul Bryant, Frank Broyles, Darrell Royal, and around them more than people might know. Of course, Coach Bryant, yes, but people didn't realize how influenced Johnny Majors worked for Frank Broyles. So I got to know Coach Broyles through him, and I knew the Arkansas way. Ken Hatfield, who I love, but the standard. I'm coaching punt return team. Oh, Lord. Coach, you can't do it good enough for Coach Majors. Kenny Hatfield's best safety man, best return man I ever had. And this is how we did it, Coach Broyles would be upset with you. And I said, I'm sure he would. I'm trying, But thank the good Lord that you had those influences not only on the field, but in your life, because they got into coaching for all the right reasons. Sure, competitive, sure, going to beat you any way they could, but not at the expense of raising young men that would be better people.
What are you doing these days?
Working for the Southeastern Conference. I had retired, and Greg Sankey called me, the commissioner, and he said, I want to run something by you. Okay. And he said, I want you to consider coming with us in-house, in the office. We've never had a coach. And obviously, it's a very difficult era. And I just think it can help the communication. And they didn't have a job. This had never existed. And so I thought about it, but I said, my mother taught me this. You don't choose positions or places. You choose people in your life. That's careers as well. So I said, Commissioner, I can't do anything till I fly down there. If y'all will fly me down where I can spend a day with you people. And when I did that, I told my wife I was really impressed with the people he had gathered there, young and some older and some been there a long time. And I met as many people as I could and had as many conversations. And so I thought maybe I can still make a difference in college football, just a different avenue here. And I'm trying to do that. The title they gave me sounds like Dwight Schrute's title in The Office. I'm a special assistant to the commissioner for football relations. So as soon as I said that to my son, that's what he said, okay, Dwight Schrute. So for those of you that haven't watched The Office, that's kind of a joke about that show. But it's been good. I go to all of our institutions. I make campus visits. I make game visits. I've been up to Fayetteville numerous times. Sam Pittman is quite a man and quite a football coach, and I know there's all the talk that goes on that's associated with what we do, but he's a man that I can admire. I'm going to say that on this radio show in this great state. Football state that it is. So I go, first place I go is the equipment room. People look at me funny. I said, if you've ever been around this business, you go to the equipment room to find out really what's going on. Tell me what's happening with the players in the locker room. Tell me what you see. Tell me what's going on with the coaches. Tell me, and they know everything. And so I have a thread of all our head football equipment people. Now 16, I've already included much to the chagrin probably of Arkansas people, Oklahoma and Texas, but and I went to those places. Relations is short for the word relationships. So my ego doesn't need relationships with Coach Saban. I need to know the people that are in the building, and that's what I'm spending my time doing, is trying to support all of those folks.
We're talking with David Cutcliffe. Coach, you're big when they create a position for you.
I don't know about that. But
I do. That's awesome.
It's kind of good to get a job with no job description. You write it yourself, right?
So what is it you try to contribute? What is it you want to do to help the SEC?
Well, I want to be a conduit. Our coaches will tell me things they won't tell other people. And, when I say, tell me your biggest problems, but I don't want to hear you whine. And I can talk like that to them. And I don't want them to whine. It's not helping the plight of college football. Give me some of the solutions you're seeing on a day-to-day that we can implement. So you look at it from a conference standpoint, but we also have to look beyond our institutional hat and our conference hat into the complete college football is in an interesting time, the most interesting time. And everybody has a different opinion. And when I hear some of the opinions that are somewhat uneducated on television, and to be real honest with you, as you climb the ladder and the model, everybody blames the NCAA. Well, the NCAA is us. The presidents are the bosses to those people, okay? But the higher you climb up the decision-making model, the less people are experienced with any form of athletics on a day-to-day basis. No boots on the ground. That's become more true in the area of directors of athletics. It's a business. And I'm not criticizing that. But you're in that mode, my job is to maybe bring some boots on the ground thoughts and wisdom. How can we thrive? And what I've done, I'm writing my own little project based on players. I'm not worried about coaches, and I tell them to their face. I'm not at all. I'm worried about the effects on young people. And there's a lot of this that's bigger than people think in that locker room. That's why you go to the equipment room. There's a lot of this with 19-year-olds devaluing their education. I've always been one that I'm more worried about their education than I am about their degree. So when I would have my meetings, I would look at grades. But I wanted to talk and hear if they could talk to me as an educated person. And if they couldn't, they went on my bad list, and I went to our academic people, and this is not working. Mm-hmm. So influences, and God forbid I had money to spend when I was 19. I couldn't have handled it. And so these are the serious sides of all of what you're watching right now.
So instead of complaining about the NIL and what it's doing, how do we fix it? Personally,
I think you have to look at the calendar. I want you to think you're in the sports business, okay? Deep in the sports business. We start talking about prospects and start trying to sign them or commit them when they're juniors. We've moved recruiting up, so all the official visits, this is why I look at it from a player perspective, are happening in the spring and in June of their junior year or completion of their junior year. Some of them are 16, most are 17, and they're going to come and go out and sample college life? Tell me what's right about that. And so you can take the calendar, and you may make a few folks mad. And I'm not the decision maker. I'm suggesting. But if you take the calendar and slow it down, then maybe we can slow down the enticing of 16-year-olds with money to come sign with our school and their parents. That maybe we don't have to offer. And then coaches can take a little more time like we used to in evaluating, can they play? Are they going to physically help us? And do they fit our culture? And you go back to really learning who they signed. Remember when people learned who you were going to sign in December?
Yeah.
You learned it then.
Yeah. Or February.
Because, yes,
even later.
Or February. And we were recruiting our rear ends off. It was February at first, yes. But you signed people then that you believed in. And then we have to encourage our coaches to develop people in their program. We have coaches spending more time with the ones they're trying to get to come than the ones that they have. And I learned that in equipment rooms, and I'm not sharing where I hear it the most, but I have a real hard time with that. I was a coach that took developmental programs. I mean, we had nothing when we started at Ole Miss. We had less than nothing when we went to Duke. So as a head coach for 20 years, it was all about development, all about development. And God forbid, but the pandemic hit us, and then when your development is hit in those kinds of programs, it's over with. You can't recover initially, you know. But those young people know that you were invested in them. Those young people know that you care. Not in this league, but I had a coach actually say one time to me, we don't, because I challenged him about running kids off, that they deemed not good enough. And second year, if they weren't starting, you can recruit one better. He said, well, we don't run them off. I just tell our coaches to ignore them. Don't talk to them. Wow. Wow. I was speechless. I had no comeback. I just walked away dejected. That's not what we do. You know what the word coach means? Okay, it comes from a Hungarian word, a city in Hungary called Koski, and they built wagons that ultimately, when they became some part of England in the English language, it was called a coach. So a person was waiting somewhere to get picked up by the coach and carried to a desired destination. What an awesome title. And I do use that in coaching clinics, and I have challenged particularly a lot of young coaches. I guess I said, I go to them, what the hell are you doing? Your job is this kid in this coaching opportunity. No. You take somebody's hope away, a young person, you may devalue the rest of that young person's opportunity in life. So I know I'm preaching, but I think people need to hear a bit about what is really important with athletes, with the players, and not just the football players, the basketball players, the swimmers, the track athletes. And we have to pool resources to make those other athletes have good experiences, both athletically and educationally. So folks, slow down before you start raising Cain at the NCAA. We've slowly done this to ourselves, in my opinion.
When you talk to the guys in the equipment room, what is the NIL doing to the locker room?
Oh, yeah, they don't like it. They've created a separation in the locker room. And they know a number of players that don't like the prima donnas, that got the money, that got the big cars, that come in and do their thing, and if they're out. They're busy. They're busy with their money. And I'm sure that's not every kid that's thriving in name, image, and likeness is that way. But I'm telling you, those guys know. And I said, tell me about your walk-ons. And he said, well, Coach, they feel probably more removed than ever from being important. So many resources go to keeping the players happy, to keep them out of the portal, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I'm sure you remember the reason young people walked on was a deep hope of trying to earn a scholarship. I'm not sure juniors in high school have earned a scholarship, but I know they haven't earned name, image, and likeness. Don't call it that. That is a recruiting enticement. They hadn't earned, there's no value in their name, image, and likeness. And I was in on the meetings when this was first talked about. I was a glutton for punishment. I've always been on the AFCA board, and so I was serving on the football oversight committee when this was all going down. And I'm listening to them talk about this. And players would be their own independent agents, and they can get agents, and so it wouldn't cost the department anything, and they could do their own outside deals. And I had to stop the meeting. I'm the only coach on this thing. I said, excuse me, how many of you on this Zoom have ever coached? None. And I said, do you not realize that you're going to open up an opportunity to legalize cheating? Oh, no, that's not going to happen. I said, trust me, you let an agent get involved with a 16-year-old representing him and his parents. Oh, yes, there's going to be people delivering money for opportunities, and they haven't earned. I said, name, image, and likeness is just that. if somebody's building a game using my name, my image, and my likeness, guess what? They should pay me a little bit for that, right? That's what it was meant to be. But it needed restriction. And also not at the expense of the other players in that locker room. And people don't realize, they think, well, they got all this money. Football makes a lot of money, but it supports a lot of other things within, not just these coaching salaries. And, I never had that opportunity, what's happening out there. We were whole different level, believe me, and that's fine. I never got in it for that. Johnny Majors paid me a little under $4,000 a year when I got into it. And I was single, and he said, it's not healthy for a young single coach to make too much money. Oh, okay. So 2 years later, and I wasn't making much more, and I was wanting to get married. I said, Coach Majors, I've never thanked you properly. He said, what? And I said, I think I'm the healthiest coach in all of college football. So I said, please, I want to get married. I need a little bit more money. And I think I went up to $12,000 a year. And I had everything I needed. And I know people have heard this and they get tired of this story. But I think that has to be addressed by the coaching profession to some level and degree. I really do. Now, they're going to look at me like I got four heads. Yeah, but I was raised by my mother and daddy in a simple way, and I know the difference between right and wrong. And I don't begrudge anybody that hustles and makes a bunch of money, but I don't want people getting into that profession for that reason.
Coach, it was a pleasure.
Time to go.
I knew you would just fill this time with ease for me.
Well,
you were awesome. It was refreshing to hear you talk.
I'm glad to hear you say that, and I understand some fans don't really quite grasp what I'm saying. Some are listening and saying, that idiot, that, and some are maybe thinking a little bit, which I hope you are, and then some may get it. And I'm not being negative about what's happening and about players receiving money. I'm not. I'm concerned about players. That's number one. And we'll have another talk one day about the month of June. And no other month is so much significantly different for players than it used to be. I don't worry about coaches. I tell them all the time, they call me to whine, shut up. I'm not listening to you whine. You got more people than I ever dreamed of around you to solve the problem. So quit whining. So whatever that's worth. All right, man.
We're going to call you in June.
All right, sounds good.
We're going to get you on in June.
All right.
Coach, thank you so much. Absolutely incredible. I mean, if that doesn't get you want to stick around until 12:15 to hear him in there. And I know, look, David's going to ask him about Eli and Peyton Manning and the Little Rock games and all that. But, man, that was – I don't know. I hope you were glued. I was glued to every word he said, and I thought that was fantastic. We got to do the Red-White Report, Christian.
The Red White Report is brought to you by Big O Tires. With locations in Conway on Harkrider and in Cabot on Prospect Court, Big O Tires offers an endless selection of wheel and tire combinations. Big O Tires. They have everything you need to fit your budget and style.
Arkansas, Missouri on Friday. Last game of the season, but it's not the last game for Coach Pittman. Hunter Yurachek spoke with the team after the game and reassured them Coach Pittman was coming back. And here's what Coach Pittman had to say about Yurachek addressing the team.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of emotion in the room, but I didn't know it. But he wanted to address the team right before we finished with the conversation, and it was really cool because of the kids. They went off, and it was I don't ever want to get in that situation, but it was a special moment to be a part of. It was really cool.
Basketball also in the Bahamas. They arrived yesterday. Apparently they had some travel issues, so it took them a while to get there, but they made it. Media Days coming up, and they play tomorrow. Stanford, and then Thursday they'll take on either Michigan or Memphis, depending on what happens in those two games, and then they'll play again on Friday. The Arkansas women last night took on the UCA Bears. They rolled on to another victory, 5-0 for Mike Neighbors' team. And Talia Scott, this freshman, guys, there were some highlights last night. She's a baller. I mean, she can handle it. She's quick. She can get to the basket. She can stop. She can pop it. Good shooter. She's legit. I mean, we had heard some stories of how many points she was putting up in high school, but so far through 5 games, she's very good and fun to watch. The way she can handle the basketball. All right, let's talk with Chris Shinup. He joins us now for Arkansas Urology.
What's up,
man? What a great year this has been and thank you guys for sponsoring our broadcast here and having us back out here. It's been just great season, great guests, and it's been good radio.
You know, from starting with Coach Pittman to Peyton Manning. I mean, obviously Basil, another series of home runs that he's had with the speakers. But I know Coach Cutcliffe will be great today. I'm sure he has some great stories. Look like y'all are having a pretty good interview over here, Wes.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it goes up there.
Yeah.
Towards the top of interviews I've been a part of. It was.
You might have a new co-host.
Very enticing, and just what he had to say. It was powerful. It was refreshing to hear, but the knowledge that he has, and then the insight that he has into all these programs, and the main thing I think that came away, he cares about the future of the game and the future of the kids, young men playing college football, and that perspective is lost a lot of times.
Well, and he's just, he has that kind of traditional old school, in him that I heard y'all talking a little bit about Coach Broyles and Johnny Majors and some of those just legendary coaches that he probably grew up coaching with and were his mentors when he first got into the game. So I think it'll be pretty interesting to hear what he has to say.
No doubt. I like big beards, and I cannot lie.
How about that?
How about November? It's rolling right along with No Shave November. I saw one of our stories on Fox 16 with some of the high school coaches that have challenged each other to grow their beards out. So it's catching on, and more people are participating.
Yeah, Wes, No Shave November, it's not only convenient for guys to put their razors down and not shave, not having to go out and buy razor blades or shaving cream or charge up that razor, but I think more importantly, it's an opportunity for us to raise awareness for men's health, for reminding guys to go get checked out. It's everything from prostate cancer, testicular cancer, even mental health. There have been stories over the past couple of years that No Shave November nationally has really raised awareness for guys just going to talk to somebody if they need to and not becoming suicidal, hopefully. So I think it's just such a wide variety of issues pertaining to men's health that we're honored to be a part of it here with Arkansas Urology.
One more week to get the nominations in.
One more week, so guys can submit until November 28th. That's when we start voting, and then we announce the winner. It'll be Facebook votes. We announce the winner live on Morning Mayhem. It'll be the morning when Roger Scott gets his exam live on air over at our men's health clinic. But we'll announce the winner of that 70-inch TV, among other prizes, Monday, December 4th.
Well, you get it in. You got one more week. November 28th is the deadline. Just go to
ArkansasUrology.com. You'll see the info up there on a banner, and all the pictures will be posted on Facebook on Wednesday, November 28th.
Awesome deal.
29th.
29th. Yes. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
We appreciate you having us in over here all the time.
Well, looking forward to it, and looking forward to doing it next year.
All right, Chris Shinup.
Thank you, Wes.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Pat Bradley will join us. Clint was yesterday and tomorrow. That's why I got confused. Clint, usually Monday, Friday, but because we're off Thursday and Friday, Clint will be with us tomorrow. And so will Quinn Grovey. Tomorrow's show's loaded, too. Pat Bradley next, and Eli Craner. Birthdays, entertainment. We'll head inside, hear more from Coach Cutcliffe. Stick around. You're in the zone.
Listen for Birthday Trivia in the Zone, brought to you by Elia's Mexican Grill. Headed to the hill, take exit 108 from either direction for award-winning Mexican food made fresh every day. Elia's in Morrilton.
Brandon Moving and Storage has served Central Arkansas since 1965 and continues to provide professional service, local reliability, and community investment. We provide residential and commercial moves, local, national, and international service, commercial warehousing and distribution, unpacking services, and custom packing and crating. Let Central Arkansas's trusted Beacons agent help you with your next move. Brandon Moving and Storage. You make a move, we make it easy.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On a game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch. Only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Happy holidays from the Little Rock Athletic Club and the Little Rock Racket Club. Two things happen in December: Santa Claus and 50% off all joining fees at the Little Rock Athletic Club and Racket Club. Take advantage of this one-time per year offer. 50% off all joining fees. A club membership makes the perfect Christmas gift. This one-time per year offer is valid through December 31st. Don't put it off any longer and join the Little Rock Athletic Club or Racket Club for 50% off online at lrac.com.
Thanksgiving is almost here, which means it's time to start thinking about your holiday plans. This year, save time along with the worry and hassle and let the team at Edwards Food Giant do it for you. Their turkey dinner includes the turkey as well as their signature cornbread dressing, giblet gravy, cranberry sauce, and dinner rolls. All fully cooked, homemade, and ready for you to heat and serve to your family. If that's not enough, their deluxe turkey dinner also includes sweet potato casserole, green beans, and apple pie. Now that's what I call a Thanksgiving spread. Click on edwardsfoodgiant.com to view their full menus and find out how to order your dinner.
You're in the zone with Justin Acree and Wes Moore, coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. If you want to be a part of the show, hit the guys on Twitter at Justin Acree7, at Wes_Moore, or at CWeaver1037. Call 661-1037 or email thezone@1037thebuzz.com.
Need a new tire, new set of tires. Well, the timing's perfect for you because Big O Tires is having their Black Friday sale. Up to $140 instant savings on select set of Michelin tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper tires. Sumitomo tires. Instant savings and rebates on almost every tire that they have in stock. Get ready for cold weather, too. Savings on service. You also get 0% interest when you use your Big O credit card. 2 locations, Cabot and Conway. In Conway, they're on Harkrider. In Cabot, it's Prospect Court right next to Kroger. Go see our friends at Big O Tires, the team we trust.
Pat Bradley in the Zone is brought to you by River City Flooring.
Bradley off the screen for Gray. He's got a bit. He's been terrific in this first half.
River City Flooring. The only thing better than their selection is their service. Visit RiverCityFlooringInc.com. RiverCityFlooringInc.com.
PB, what's up? How are you?
What do you say, boys? What do you say?
Oh, it's fantastic, man, and I'm excited about the Bahamas. We got Razorbacks basketball Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to find out a lot about this team over the next 3 days.
Yeah, do you ever get a chance to follow the team in one of these tourneys?
No. Wouldn't that be awesome right now to be in the Bahamas?
Oh, well, I've never... we went on a couple of trips. The warm weather trip we went on was Puerto Rico, and then we went to Alaska one year.
How was Alaska in November, December?
Man, it was just dark. I'm trying to remember how much daylight. I just remember it always being dark and cold. But it was a cool venue and everything, and obviously. I want to say it was Anchorage. It was Top of the World Classic. It wasn't the Alaskan Shootout. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think it used to be the Alaskan Shootout.
Yeah. So let me just put it to you this way: there were multiple people suspended on the Puerto Rico trip, and nobody got in trouble in Alaska. So that's the risk you take as a coach. That's the risk you take as a coach when you are deciding when to go. And I actually talked to Coach Muss about that because where'd they go? They had a trip last year, and he made a point to say, was it Hawaii last year? He made a point to say how, well, behaved and mature everybody was when they. We had a guy. So I was late for the bus after practice because we had to bus to Tulsa to fly. I was late for the bus. I got, I don't know if I got suspended the first half or coach just didn't start me. And then we had a kid get suspended on the flight over. We didn't even land in Alaska. And this kid got in trouble on the plane and suspended. So needless to say, that trip didn't start well. We lose our first 2 games back to back. So it was not great memories for the Razorbacks that Christmas. It was Christmas. We went there for Christmas. So we were all sulking around all Christmas Eve. I was watching at that time. They were playing Christmas Story continuously on TBS. So I basically stayed in my room and watched Christmas Story over and over and over. In San Juan.
And speaking of bad memories, we got some bad memories from last Friday night with Arkansas and UNCG. What do you chalk that one up to?
Well, coming into the season, the question was if you were going to say, well, what strengths and weaknesses, you knew that offensively you're bringing in 4 15-plus scores, 18, 17. So you felt like offensively wasn't the question. And, Coach Moss obviously is a very demanding defensive coach. And, that's sort of like the trade-off. You want to recruit offense and teach defense, motivate defense. Because physically they can do it. It's just about the mentality and the priorities. And we've seen Coach Moss address issues where there was rebounding. I don't know if you guys remember when there was a big issue with rebounding. Yep. It was actually, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, we went through a little phase where we weren't defending the 3. So obviously last night against UNCG, it was multiple things. They didn't do well defensively. There was too much space, half court. UNC, when they catch and shoot on the half court, in transition, they didn't get out to shooters. They didn't identify shooters. Pick and roll was the switches were bad. No communication. It was like, why would you switch that? You're going to talk about, am I going under? Am I going over? Am I fighting through it? Are we switching? Or big man, are you hedging and I'm getting back? Or do you? So it just, it looked like, I know it was just sometimes where the guards just dribbled right past our guys and wouldn't lay it in. And I felt like, at times, they were very patient, and they're good. They're really good. They've got veteran backcourt, as we saw. So, that UNCG is not a slouch by any means. However, you got to win that game. But I thought they were very patient, and their offense, at no point UNCG was one guy just standing there. I don't know if you kind of go back and watch it or if you remember from it. All their guys are moving, whether it is they're just sort of replacing, cut and replace, ball screen, off the ball screen. So when you get that much movement, you need so much more communication and awareness. And, and then we couldn't make a shot. But second half, we shoot more threes than free throws in the first half. That's Coach Munson. I knew coming out in the second half he was going to correct that. Then they come out in the second half. I don't know if they shot 21 free throws in the second half. I think they still shot 13 threes. Couldn't make any threes. I thought they actually, got the ball against that zone in the second half where they wanted, right there at Devo in the sweet spot. But all these things, as we know, are fixable. And we know Coach Musk is going to do that. I'd imagine they broke that tape down and each guy got emailed or text messaged or however they do all of their, breakdown of the film and send it to them and say, yeah, we're going to clean this up. So Stanford is they're a pretty good offensive team. They shoot a lot. They get about four starters that shoot 30 plus. And you know who they got? Peja Stojakovic. son is on the team. He's a freshman, top 25 recruit. So,
Andre Stojakovic.
Yeah, he's a shooter too. So just nice little wrinkle. And of course, Stanford's coach is Gerard Haas from Kansas. I always butcher his name for some reason. We should win. They're not a very good defensive team, but they're a pretty good offensive team, and they got a lot of experience, a lot of 50-year guys.
Who's the team to beat down in the Bahamas?
And you're going to have to say, right now, North Carolina. Memphis is interesting because their backcourt, if you guys remember the Alabama kid, Javon Quinterly, who's been around Villanova. I think he was an Donovan American. He transferred to Memphis. Michigan, they lost a lot, but they had a nice win against St. John's. I'm not sure they're sitting at 3-1 now, and they didn't really expect to do a lot. Jamon Howard actually going through, I guess he had heart surgery, so Phil Martelli, the legendary St. Joseph's coach, is at the helm for them now. So, it's really important for the Hogs because they have an opportunity to win this. On the other side, Texas Tech, Grant McCasland, you remember Grant, right? Isn't he at Texas Tech now? Arkansas State coach, North Texas, and I think now he's at Texas Tech.
Yeah, great guy.
He's
Went
a
to
great
North
coach,
Texas.
too, so.
Yeah, he's had success everywhere he's
Yeah,
been.
so, the easy answer is yes, North Carolina. However, we know, when you're playing 3 games in a short period of time, legs, somebody gets a little banged up, anything could affect a tournament style. I think it's just important to get that first one. Got to get the first one because now you're in a consolation. You know what I mean? That's the last thing. That's not where you want to be. So that's going to be the important game, and then just build on that.
Is there anything you're looking for in the Bahamas that you want to see from this team?
Well, again, it's, I think defensively, like we saw, there was really one early game where, they just looked like gangbusters out there in defense. Just flying around the floor, closing out. Those types of things, and physically they can do it. They can put a defense out there that is potent offensively, that's got a lot of length on the perimeter where they should be able to get out, run guys off the 3-point line. So I would say putting together a complete game, obviously if they played in the first half like they did in the second half on Friday, that's a different ballgame, and they win that game. So you want to make sure that from start to finish, you are checking all those boxes. That's going to be the first thing. Can you play that complete game? And then, of course, how do you pick up transition defense, communication? That's part of the, that's part of the battle. Is if you take a poor shot or a low percentage shot, which usually is a 3, like a quick 3. Now your defense is like scrambling. There's probably a long rebound, which is much easier for the opponent to run. Now you're scrambling. So, can you get a good shot? And that's going to help your defense automatically. Whether you make or miss, that's it. You get it. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, but you can help yourself out by taking a high percent shot.
Pat, we got to run. Thank you for coming on board as always. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving, boys. Thank you, River City Flooring.
PB with us on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline. When we come back, Eli Craner will join us. We'll get his thoughts on a little football talk and some books. We'll see what his book of the week is. Stick around. You're in the zone.
Well, I tried to tell you so, but I guess you didn't know. Like I said, a story told.
Once a year, Saracen gives away a coveted BMW to one lucky winner. This week is that special time, and you could be the winner of an amazing BMW X5 SUV from Saracen Casino and BMW of Little Rock. Play to win a top-of-the-line BMW SUV only at Saracen Casino Resort. Just 40 minutes away, Saracen is Little Rock's closest place to play and win a BMW X5 SUV Saturday night.
Saracen Casino Resort, Vegas, Arkansas style.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Looking for somewhere new downtown to hang out with all of your friends for football? Then there's only one place, and that's Little Rock's newest neighborhood sports bar, The Busker on South Main. The Busker features an upscale bar menu with great beer, wine, and cocktail selections, as well as weekday happy hours from 4 till 7 and late nights from 10 till close. So watch all your favorite college and NFL games on the Sunday Ticket this fall, where you won't miss a minute of the action on their big screen TVs. All this, including live music on the weekends, can only be found at The Busker on South Main.
Black Friday is beyond huge this year at Gwatney Buick GMC in North Little Rock. And unlike that turkey you just had, there won't be any leftovers. Opening at 6 a.m. on Black Friday with free breakfast and door prizes. 2023 Encore GX starting at just $19,999. Get 2023 Terrain or Acadia up to $9,000 off MSRP. Did we mention door prizes? TVs, Quest VR, Segways, drones, outdoor grills, Fago sets, foosball, even a Hummer. Plus, during Gwatney Buick GMC's Black Friday event, Sierra 1500s up to $15,000 off MSRP. And don't worry about cold turkey because Gwatney's doing free lunch too. Gwatney Buick GMC, home of the Angel Tree and Toys for Tots drop-off point. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. 501-945-4444. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit. Stock numbers 19495, 19250, 19181, 19606, 19300.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
See shelter agents Richard Yeager or Jason Daly in Little Rock or Agent Lawrence Forrester in Cabot today.
Injured? There's only one number you need to know. Dial 888-8888.
At Rainwater Holton Sexton, no case is too big and no insurance company too strong. Just dial 888-8888.
We are battle-tested, big case injury lawyers who've recovered millions for our clients. Just dial 888-8888.
Been in a wreck anywhere in the state. Just dial 888-8888.
Responsible attorneys Michael Rainwater and Bob Sexton.
Gwatney Chevrolet has consistently been at the top when it comes to new Chevy sales in their zone. Justin Acre for my friends up in Jacksonville. And you know that Gwatney Chevrolet surpasses all the dealers from Northeast Arkansas all the way to Mississippi. And that success in new car sales has resulted in an overstock of trade-in used vehicles. So you need to get out there and take advantage of the liquidation sale they've got on used cars right now. It beats anything in the market. And to make it happen, they partnered with Capital One to get everyone approved for the biggest discounts of the year. Every major manufacturer is represented, and they're all good enough for mom. That is the Gwatney Chevrolet seal of approval. You know that. People you can trust, people you've worked with for a long time, and since 1957, the leader around these parts when it comes to car deals. Used Tracks also being offered as low as $299 a month. They've got used Sparks as low as $299 a month, and you can get a used Rogue as low as $174 a month. That is just the tip of the iceberg. New, pre-owned, doesn't matter. You're going to get treated right. Go see our friends at Gwatney Chevrolet. It's in Jacksonville on the Gregory Street exit and online at GwatneyChevrolet.com.
Welcome back to the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio, home of the Zone on the Buzz Radio Network. Listen to your favorite radio station on the Buzz app or online at 1037thebuzz.com. It's time for Enlightening Candor with Eli Craner. He's brought to you by Jackalope Cycling in Russellville. Jackalope Cycling provides bike rentals and service as well as camping gear and fishing accessories. Whatever gets you excited to be outdoors, they're there to help you with it. Check them out at jackalopecycling.com.
All right, let's bring him in. Eli, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's up, guys? All good on a Tuesday. How y'all?
It's fantastic. We're at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Just spoke with David Cutcliffe. great talk, and can't wait to hear him inside at the podium here in the next 30 minutes.
And it's always the football season always flies by. It feels like yesterday I was there with you guys doing that random out of time spot, and then there came Coach Pittman walking in behind us. That's a story I've retold many times.
Yeah. What'd you think? Coach Pittman got the vote of confidence, and he's going to be back next year. What'd you think about that?
Man, I'm fine with it. You know, where my big gripe right now on the whole thing, if I'm going to gripe, I've been holding gripes back as much as I can. But my gripe, and this one's personal for me. I've told you guys this. You know, Jacoby Criswell was a guy I coached in junior high football. A guy that I just feel like at this point in the season, I would love to see more of him. You know, it makes no sense to me that we've had the sort of season we've had, and we've seen the backup quarterback for literally 5 or 6 series throughout the whole course of the season. That is, and I feel like, especially now with Coach Pittman coming back, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, you guys tell me what I'm thinking here. But I mean, if I have a quarterback, I don't care how long he's been there. I don't care, what records he had. But after this season, I would think I would want to make it to where it's a competition, and if we've got a guy who's there, with what we've got left to fight for this season, I would love to see him. I would love for the fans to see him. I would love to get some tape on this kid and see, okay, which way do we need to go if this is a big, the word I keep hearing, reboot, everything like that. What's the word on all that, man?
KJ Jefferson's got a big decision coming up, and a lot depends on KJ. Is he going to test the NFL waters? I don't think he will after the season that he just had. Or maybe he does and just signs as a free agent, or I don't know. Or does he try to come back to Arkansas, or does he go into the transfer portal and try to see what kind of NIL deal he can get somewhere else? So I think, and a lot depends on who the next offensive coordinator is, too, for Arkansas. And does KJ want to, work with that man? And can he help KJ become an NFL quarterback? So there are a lot of questions and not any answers.
That's something, Wes, that, I don't ever hear anybody. I've heard everybody talk about O-line all year, and I see the O-line this year.
Yeah.
But I also know as a quarterback, there's a lot of responsibility that a quarterback carries in the run game and in the passing game to help the offensive line. Protection checks when it comes to the passing game, making sure a defensive end isn't going up against the running back, making sure, you're sliding your protection into the blitz run game. So we always had run checks where you're checking plays based on protection, and then even the smallest thing, like carrying out a run fake, to help hold the defense. So, I just say all that to make this argument that it's at this point, after the season we've had, man, if I'd say if a couple of series go wrong, I would love to see what we have waiting in the wings in a real game time situation.
KJ
that's way more than book talk.
KJ got his records last week, and I'm glad he did. And I'm with you. I'm ready to see what Criswell can do. And I hope he gets a chance to play a little bit this week. And if KJ decides to move on and go somewhere else, I'm fine with it. And I think I'm ready to start the next era in Razorback football, with at least at quarterback anyway. Hey, let's talk about books. What do you got for us this week?
Let's talk about books, man. Yeah. If I was going to ask you, Wes, if I talked about Jerry Spinelli, and that's probably that's a tough question. I know I've talked about a lot of guys, but even if maybe, does that name ring a bell if I mentioned Jerry Spinelli?
It rings a bell for some reason, and I'm not one into authors, so you must have said his name at some point.
I know. Well, even if I mentioned Jerry, I think it bears repeating here, and there's a reason for this. But Jerry Spinelli he's a children's author, not like picture books, like we're talking like grade, like books with chapters, like 8 to 12 years old. And so the reason I'm bringing Jerry up is Jerry writes books with us, like being in the holiday season. Jerry's an older guy who writes books that really appeal to young, like boy readers. And those are hard to come by. And I know this because as a dude who writes books, I'm always asked to come speak, because there's not a lot of men out there in that industry. And a lot of teachers, they want to see, because it gets harder and harder to get boys to read books. So they want, someone who is a man, who was a boy, to come and speak. And one of the top days, finding a book that interests a 12-year-old boy is harder and harder as well. So I'm just saying all this, for anybody who's listening and thinking, man, I'd love to get my son a book. I'd love to get him reading again. But you don't know what. And so I'm throwing Jerry Spinelli out there. Jerry Spinelli won the Newbery honor way back probably in the 90s with Maniac McGee, which is a book we had to read in school. A lot of people read in school. But he's got some football book, one book called Crash, about this kid who wore a helmet his whole life growing up. He becomes this great kind of football guy, like a linebacker. He's got a book called Loser. But Jerry Spinelli's a guy, I always say that getting kids to read, boys especially, it's important to get them to read, because the way to get them to read is by giving them the right book. If you give them a book that doesn't appeal to them at all, then they're not going to read it. But if you hook them with the right stuff, they will. I think that's the biggest thing. So Jerry Spinelli is who I would recommend for anybody, any grandpa, dad, mom, whoever, grandmother is listening, thinking, I want to give my son a book. Maybe
that's it.
I'd really check out Jerry.
Thanks, Eli. Got to go. Hour 3 next.
I'm talking about Elliot's Mexican Grill. Take exit 108 from either direction for award-winning Mexican food made fresh every day. The Keith Special, a Mexican hibachi dish with fresh steak, chicken, or shrimp. Tuesdays are Taco Tuesdays, and they're only $1.99 at Elliot's. And now they're serving homemade tortillas. Fresh pies for dessert along with soft serve ice cream. Elliot's Mexican Grill, award-winning Mexican food with daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. You take exit 108 to Elliot's Mexican Grill in Morrilton.
Roger, did you know that Oaklawn Sports is the mobile app that lets you bet anywhere in Arkansas?
Anywhere, so I can bet the over when I'm in Dover.
Indeed you can.
I can take the underdog in Dogtown.
Absolutely.
You're telling me I can bet on the Pigskin and Piggott?
Yep.
Hoops in Humnoke, baseball in Bauxite, long shots in Lavaca?
All of the above.
Anywhere, huh?
Anywhere.
Nice.
Easy to use and even easier to fund. Bet with confidence. Bet with Oaklawn Sports. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Arkansas State fans, listen up. The Red Wolves' home in Central Arkansas is 106.7 Buzz 2. Listen every week for Sunbelt Conference action with the Red Wolves, only on 106.7 Buzz 2.
One man can't make a team.
Yeah, so what's your point?
Thanks for being part of the Buzz team. 1037 The Buzz.
Buzz News with Channel 7's Cassandra Webb.
The Izard County Sheriff's Office is warning the public about a new scam call. They've heard from several people in the county who have answered these calls already. They say when you pick up the phone that you can hear the sounds of a woman screaming, followed by the voice of a man telling them that their daughter has been in a car accident and they're in need of help. Again, this is a scam. The Sheriff's Office says the caller is trying to get your personal financial information, which should never be given out over the phone. So if you get a call like this, hang up and report it to your county sheriff. The Little Rock School District says Parkview Arts and Science Magnet High School is not going anywhere. The district confirmed it has no plans or intentions of closing the high school, refuting rumors that have been widely shared on social media. Parkview, as well as other schools, were mentioned during a public conversation on optimizing the school district's operation, but no decision has been made. From the Channel 7 newsroom, I'm Cassandra Webb.
Back-to-back Elite Eights, and last year the Sweet 16. How far will the team make it this season? Get the scoop on Mondays on Out of Bounds when senior point guard El Ellis gives us his take on the basketball season. El Ellis is brought to you by Matt Black with Allstate Insurance for your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, life, renters, and landlord insurance. Are you in good hands?
Weather from the Fletcher Weather Center with Channel 7's Melinda Mayo.
The rain is gone, but the clouds are sticking around. Today's high just 55 degrees, rather windy all day too. And tonight's low colder down to 38 degrees. Cool on Wednesday with a high around 53, but sunny and 58 Thanksgiving Day. From the Channel 7 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Melinda Mayo.
Fletcher Dodge wants to buy your car. We'll buy any make or model, and we'll pay you more than anyone else. Please turn your old car into cash at Fletcher Dodge in Sherwood.
Mark McClarty Ford's month-long Black Friday sales event is happening now, with brand new F-150s at $13,000 off MSRP and 1.9% financing available. Only at Mark McClarty Ford in North Little Rock. No payments for 9 months. Only at Mark McClarty Ford's month-long Black Friday event. Buy a new Edge or Bronco Sport and make no payments for 9 whole months. That's August of 2024. Only at Mark McClarty Ford in North Little Rock.
Quality Outdoor Products in Alexander is your metal roofing superstore. 40-year warranty colors are available at only $289 a foot. 20-year colors are $259, and Gavaloom runs $249 a foot. A variety of seconds and overruns are currently available at $1.95 a foot. Come by Quality Outdoor Products in Alexander, right next to the I-30 Speedway. Stop by the lot, call them at 501-455-0240 or check out their website, qualityoutdoor.net.
Big Black Friday sale going on right now at Robert Irwin Jewelers. Buy gifts that give gifts. With every purchase of $299 or more, get a free gift with purchase. Now with 2 locations in the Little Rock area. The newest one in the Pleasant Ridge Town Center next to the Fresh Market.
Arkansas Brewskis is excited about their second location, and it's time to add to the team. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. To apply, drop by our downtown location and fill out an application. If you want to work in a fun, professional environment, this is for you. Brewskis North is hiring servers, bartenders, cooks, and managers. Apply in person at Brewskis downtown. For more info, check us out online at brewskispubandgrub.com. Brewskis, your home for lunch, happy hour, and late night.
Heartland Rehabilitation and Care Center in Benton proudly offers compassionate and loving care to our veterans, meeting the unique needs of every veteran who calls Heartland home. Visit heartlandrehabcenter.com. It's Lazy Boy's Black Friday sale. Enjoy after Christmas relaxation with huge before Christmas savings. Doorbuster special saving you as much as 50% off on select final markdowns. At these prices, everyone will have a comfy spot to enjoy all those leftovers. Plus, no interest financing for 60 months. Buy now, relax later with Lazy Boy's biggest sale of the year. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor, Shackelford Galleries of Little Rock. Long live the lazy.
Struggling with a gambling problem? The cost may vary by individuals throughout the year, and it affects the family during the holidays. Concerned about your own or someone else's gambling addiction and would like free help? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, Arkansas Problem Gambling.
Southern Forecoding presents The Zone Rewind. Tune in Fridays when Justin and Wes discuss their best moments, sound bites, and interviews of the week. Ready to transform your patio, porch, or pool deck? Call the pros at Southern Forecoding. Find them online at southernforecoding.com.
Thanksgiving is almost here, which means it's time to start thinking about your holiday plans. This year, save time along with the worry and hassle and let the team at Edwards Food Giant do it for you. Their turkey dinner includes the turkey as well as their signature cornbread dressing, giblet gravy, cranberry sauce, and dinner rolls. All fully cooked, homemade, and ready for you to heat and serve to your family. If that's not enough, their deluxe turkey dinner also includes sweet potato casserole, green beans, and apple pie. Now that's what I call a Thanksgiving spread. Click on edwardsfoodgiant.com to view their full menus and find out how to order your dinner.
River Valley Tractor, your leading Kubota dealer of Central Arkansas. River Valley Tractor is closer than you think. A company that cares for you is right around the corner. RiverValleyTractor.com. With 5 great locations to better serve you, visit River Valley Tractor in Bryant, Sherwood, Conway, Russellville, or Pine Bluff today, or find them at RiverValleyTractor.com. Work smarter, not harder with River Valley Tractor. River Valley Tractor, closer than you think.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months, and River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
Let's go. You're in the zone, coming to you live from the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort Studio. Oaklawn, Arkansas's only racing casino resort. Now, here's Justin Acree and Wes Moore on the Buzz Radio Network. The Zone at the Little Rock Touchdown Club is brought to you by Arkansas Urology, the state's leader for urological care. with unmatched expertise, state-of-the-art facilities, and the latest technology, Arkansas Urology is well equipped to provide world-class care for all Arkansans. Clinics now open in Benton, Conway, Little Rock, and North Little Rock. Learn more at arkansasurology.com.
Hour number 3, glad you're with us at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. David Cutcliffe will be taking the stage here in about 20 minutes or so. They're handing out some awards right now. So we'll get all of our stuff done so we can hear Coach Cutcliffe. And I thought it was a fantastic interview. In fact, JK in Fairfield Bay says, what a great interview, Wes. What a great man. I agree. It was I keep saying it, refreshing was the way, a different perspective about college football. And I had no idea, Christian, sometimes I had a list, anytime you're doing an interview, I wanted to get to this, and this. And he sat down and and my first thing was just, what are you up to these days? And he told me, and I did not realize what he was doing for the SEC office. I knew he was doing something, but I didn't know what it was exactly. And then you could tell, or I could tell, how passionate he was about what he was doing. And so I just kept diving in and just going a little deeper and deeper. And he just, you could tell he wanted to talk about that. And I don't know what David has planned, but I figure it's going to be more about, Eli and Peyton and his time at Ole Miss and maybe the games against Arkansas. So I just let him go. And then he sucked me in, and I was into the conversation and just was learning so much, and I just wanted to keep going down that path. So I thought it was just turned out to be fantastic. And this one from the 501 says, from an old coach, thank you for having Coach Cutcliffe on now. So thankful he is on the job. What great insight. Y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks. Saying someone is fired when they're not is dangerous for a program, period. That goes back to our conversation with Coach Pittman and some of the things went with him. Any thoughts on an OC? I do not. I haven't started digging. And I'm to the point where I feel like it's going to be another, like we said yesterday, a Travis Williams top hire. I think it's going to be a good hire, but when it's all said and done, I don't know that it's going to be somebody that we know. It's not going to be some name. It's not going to be somebody you're like, oh, wow, he's coming to Arkansas. I just don't see that happening. It's going to be somebody, and we're going to have to go, oh, let's look this guy up. What's he done in the past? Where's he been? What kind of offense does he run? So I think that's what we're facing and looking at most likely. But I do think it's a very, very important hire. Let's do some entertainment news.
Today's entertainment report is brought to you by Bell & Sword Gentlemen's Clothing in Conway. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, or stop by Bell & Sword's new and larger location at 1011 Oak Street.
I'm only doing one story today because Cutcliffe will probably be up to talk here very soon.
No,
John
you know
Neighbors
what?
is in here.
No, tell John to come back. You do this story and we'll go. Coach Cutcliffe just took the stage.
You can go away, John. We'll ask you to come back later. All right. So Travis Kelce has opened up about Taylor Swift, and he said obviously he's never dated anyone with that kind of aura about them. I've never dealt with it. He calls her hilarious and a genius, and he says he's a family guy. Her team is her family. Her family does a lot of stuff in terms of the tour, the marketing, being around, so I think she has a lot of those values as well, which is right up my alley. So it sounds like those two are doing pretty well, and I guess we'll end it there since Cutcliffe has taken the stage.
Zone question of the day tomorrow. How long does their relationship last?
That's actually a really good one. I don't know what the odds should be.
Yeah, we'll discuss it later. Let's go and see what they're talking about. I see Basil up there, and I see Coach Cutcliffe.
Went to Great Britain. It became Coach. And what it was originally was something where people were waiting where they were, that they wanted to get into to go to a desired destination. Wow. What a great title Coach is. And I appreciate you doing it at your level, where you're taking all of these young people to their desired destination, and you guys' job is to take advantage of it. So thank you, coaches, for what you've done. Appreciate it.
Agree. Well said.
So Coach, we brought you here in 2005. Do you have any memory of coming here other than me not paying you for coming? Anything besides
No,
that?
I mean, the buzz is appropriate more ways than one. We got radio, the buzz, but we got the buzz going on here. I mean, everything's happening.
Yes.
It's the same way. And I do think you told me you were, wait a minute, what you told me your age is now, you must have been 15 then, right?
Yes, time has passed. Of course, you also walked away with a Bulls Award trophy. I'll never forget. So for those that you don't remember, it was, matter of fact, man, if you'll show number 5, picture number 5 here. This is a picture of you in the Bulls Award when you were actually here. You there, how about that? Look at that young guy right there.
He was handsome. What happened?
So that was, you were a finalist in the second year in 1997, and then you won it in 1998. That was a year that obviously we'll get to it in a second, where Arkansas beat Tennessee. I'm sorry, Tennessee beat Arkansas. I was dreaming that. Yes, that's what I wish should have happened. I'm kidding. Yeah, wishful thinking. But you became the head coach at Ole Miss. So this is a true story. So he becomes head coach at Ole Miss in between when we announced him the winner of the Broyles Award. So who's your longtime SID that was there forever?
At
Tennessee? At Ole Miss.
Oh, Ole Miss was Langston Rogers.
So they just hired him at Ole Miss. So we said, well, you've got to come in. Now, we had not announced him as a winner. I'm sorry. He'd been a finalist. So I called Langston. I said, Langston, I know that David has been hired as a new head coach. He's leaving Tennessee, head coach at Ole Miss, but we need to have him come in. He said, David, this is too busy a time for David. Too busy a time. He's got recruits. This is a new job. He said, if he's not going to win, he doesn't need to come. So this was the third year of the award, so I had to say, what is the correct answer? So I said, Langston, let me put it this way. To keep the integrity of the award where it needs to be, it would well be worth his time to be here in Little Rock on December whatever. And you came in and you won the award, and that was a cool deal. And what do you recall? Of course, you've talked about the Johnny Majors connection with Coach Broyles and Coach.
It was significant. At that point in my career, that was the greatest award, the greatest thing that had happened to me individually. Obviously, there's so many great things as team, what I said, but Coach Broyles influenced coaching so much more than people realize. And Johnny Majors was an assistant for him here at Arkansas, and that was our standard. No offense, but I got tired of hearing about Kenny Hatfield as a punt returner, okay? I had punt return. I'm trying to reach that standard. And I wanted to hit him when I ran into him, you know. But Coach Broyles influenced a lot of us, and I developed a friendship. Hate to tell you all this, through Coach Royal. And later on in his life, I would go see him, and we would sit down for hours. And he still was trying to compete with Coach Broyles, believe me. I'm so fortunate to have been associated with those people, and that influenced my way of coaching. So I couldn't have been prouder of winning that award.
Of course, you grew up, for those who don't know, you grew up in Birmingham, Alabama. You're the heart of Tide Country and went to school at Alabama. What about the influence of Bear Bryant when you were going to school there?
Well, it was huge, and Coach Bryant helped me make a decision to move into college coaching. I never had an intention. I was a head high school coach at too young of an age. And Coach Bryant said so many things through the years, and I've got incredible notes. I'm a good note taker. Mal Moore, who sadly has passed away, I went down to Alabama recently, and one of the old heads said, you know what Coach Moore used to call you? And I said, what? A pest. And I said, yeah, I bugged him. I wanted to learn everything they knew. But Coach Bryant told me this, and I think this is true. I've shared this with my nephew and niece recently. He said, don't go into college coaching, because John Majors had come and watched a practice and said, where do you learn how to coach like that? And I said, well, a lot of people. He said, I'm going to hire you after the season. Well, sure enough, he called. So I called Coach Bryant, Coach Moore, Ken Donahue, and I said, should I go to work for this man? He said, well, he's a good football coach. You'll learn. But he said, don't get into college coaching because you think you love the game or you love coaching. The only reason you should take this job is that you really feel that you can't live without it. And it's interesting about that time, the reason I had time in 2005, I ended up with triple bypass surgery. And I came out of it slow, hard, had to take a year off, and everybody was telling me, if you go back into coaching, it's going to kill you. And I looked at my wife, and I had tears, just she and I said, if I don't go back into coaching, it will kill me. I cannot live without it. And that's the way I wish all coaches could feel, you know.
So you come out of high school ranks in Alabama, and you go to work at Tennessee, and this is where you start your career. And one of the biggest things you did, Hannah, if you show picture number 1 here, this is sort of where it all started, where you started getting your reputation as the quarterback whisperer. If you have that, Hannah, number 1. Nope, that's not it. Well, listen, I don't know where Jim.
Hey, go Jim.
I know.
I don't know. I played golf with him one time. Don't do it.
Coach, he's the only touchdown club speaker that when he came in from outside the parking lot out there was a smoke haze around him before
Was he barefooted?
I know he was not. He was not.
Okay, well, he played golf barefooted. I'm not kidding.
Yes, that's one of the things. So let's talk about it until they get the picture right. You take that off if you want to. Talk about Archie Manning, Peyton Manning coming to Tennessee.
Well, that was an interesting time in recruiting. I think, you know, by this time, Phillips the head coach, and he thinks I'm crazy. But Peyton and I hit it off from day one. The hard sell was not as much Archie as it was Olivia, who was the homecoming queen at Ole Miss, and Cooper, the older one, had behaved and gone to Ole Miss, and everybody's telling me I'm absolutely crazy, but obviously Peyton made a decision to come. There's 2 cute things. Well, one cute and one a great compliment to Archie. So when finally Olivia realized, okay, David and Peyton are soulmates, okay, she said, David, do me one favor. And I said, yes, ma'am. Keep Peyton's uniform clean. Archie was in the dirt all the time. Yes, ma'am. And so I call that today, I'm a get the ball out in 2.8 seconds guy. I coached in the SEC, and that's about the average of what you get, or you're going to have something bad happen. So you build your passing game not around yards, but about timing. So when I've gone on in my career, I don't like to give dissertations like I'm doing now on a practice field. If a player held the ball at quarterback, he was going to hear, Olivia Manning, and he knew exactly what he had done wrong. So that was a constant. And then people asked me about Archie. There's 2 things. This one's kind of funny. So in that era, once they signed, you could go down and start coaching him. And I went to New Orleans to coach Peyton because I knew he was eager and hungry. And Archie said, can I sit in? I said, sure. I am the only coach that has ever put Archie Manning soundly to sleep on the couch. I'm coaching Peyton, and he literally starts snoring. What a great coach I am, you know. So, but I will say this about Archie Manning. He was the best, and I don't mean this ugly toward anybody, but he was the best quarterback dad that I had ever been involved with or ever will be, because he respected the fact that they were being coached by me, and he didn't need to interfere with that relationship. And he knew that I had their trust. And actually, the thing in coaching I may be most proud of is that he trusted Peyton with me. And after that test run, he trusted the next one with me.
Right, Eli.
So you can't get a better compliment.
Did you know, Coach, when you were around Peyton immediately, 6'5", you know, there obviously there's one of the pictures. That's a young Peyton right there.
Young Archie.
It's a young, I was about to say it's a young Archie too. It didn't take you very long to realize this guy's going to be, you know, maybe one of the greats?
Yeah, it was a different era. So he came in the summer and had to pay his way to school. You couldn't put people on scholarship until August. So he comes in, and I couldn't meet with him. And I'm not patting myself on the back, but I'm not a rule breaker. I don't want to teach young people that it's okay rules are for somebody else. But I told him to fill a notebook up with questions and then get me the notebook, and I could write down, and then he could glance through it. And he's watching videotape in that era, VHS tape, and he brings me 3 notebooks. And I'm like, okay. And I spent hours trying to answer those questions, and they were all spot on amazing. So I knew then this is a different guy. He also did something that I've never had another quarterback. I had to change his grip. I didn't like his grip. And so he is an amazing athlete. People think of athletes as speed or fast or juking. His footwork and his ability to take I'm a believer in the nose of the ball has to be up. You throw a football with your fingers, not your hand. I mean, you got to have space. You don't want your hand touching a ball. And he became so accurate quickly, but nobody can master that as quickly as he did unless you're a great athlete. So people get confused as to what a skilled athlete is. You don't have to run 4.2 to be a great athlete. Thank goodness for you and I.
Yeah, that's it. Well, let me ask you this. So, you have the great career there. Peyton has a great career. Doesn't win the national championship.
No.
But so you go on to 98, and T. Martin comes in, and unbelievable game there at on the river there in Knoxville. We have to go there. For Razorback fans, I had to show this, but this was obviously the game, 1998, that sort of propelled Tennessee to the national championship. If we're ready for that, guys, let's punch up that video, which is number 4. Now let's go ahead and go to number 4, if you have that.
Okay.
If not, you'll have to describe it.
Well, we're going to have a center. You're Clint Sterner, and I'm going to be Billy. Maybe, and I'll hit the center and knock him into you. We can replay it.
So, Coach,
that'd be fun for me. What do y'all think? Can I hit him?
So, Coach, sounds like we're having a problem back there. So it looked like Arkansas had this game won, and you had a situation where Clint Sterner drops back with a minute to go. Steps, I think Brandon Burlsworth steps on his foot. Arkansas had a chance to close that out there. What do you remember about that game?
Well, first of all, we had played really poorly offensively, and Houston had done a great job in the defensive staff, and they were a great team. Obviously, you could tell by the record. But it shows you what an individual can do. Billy Ratliff was from Magnolia, Mississippi. We had recruited him from down there, and a no name. There was no stars associated. But on that play, he's the one that was the nose guard that hit the lineman hard enough.
Hit Brandon.
Stepped back, knocked him back, stepped on Sterner's foot. If you've ever had a ball in your hand trying to regain your balance and there's a lot of weight and momentum, that ball comes loose, and Billy Ratliff recovered the fumble. And then that's just part of the story. Phillip knew we hadn't played well, and he gets on the headset. We got to throw it every down. We're not really running the ball. I said, no, we're not throwing the ball a single down. I got those offensive players over there, and I said, there'll be no throws.
You ran it every play on that drive to score.
Ran it every single play, and we're going to win this football game because all of you are destined to be undefeated, and I don't want to hear anything else about it. So we handed the ball off and went down the field and scored. So as bad as that was for all the Razorback fans and those players, and I feel for them, and for Houston as well, that was earned. That was not just a gift. And people don't see that sometimes. And I still talk to Billy Ratliff, wow. I mean, I get emotional for him because nobody really ever gave him the due that he deserved for what he accomplished on one single play that did allow us to move forward and win a national championship.
You win the national championship, you get the opportunity to coach at Ole Miss. First order of business, get Eli Manning to come to Oxford.
For sure, and I'd been recruiting him to Tennessee, hoping he would follow Peyton. And as it went on, he told me, he said, Coach, I just don't want to follow Peyton. So what he was going to do was either go to Virginia or Texas. And I was convinced it was Texas. So we played Vanderbilt to finish the regular season undefeated. And I go to the locker room and look at my phone, and it is being blown up by the chancellor at the University of Mississippi. I had no idea that Tommy Tuberville had left during the night, so to speak, And I called him back, and he said, we want you to be the next head coach at the University of Mississippi. I mean, I didn't know what to say. He said, "Oh, this is Dr. Kayak. Yes, we want you to be the next head football coach at the University of Mississippi." I said, okay. I never asked them what they were going to pay me. I should have learned that lesson from Coach Majors, what he paid me. But so the first thing I did in the bus on the way back to Knoxville was call Archie. And yes,
First
before I
call.
called
No.
Eli, and then I called Olivia to make sure she still didn't hate me for Peyton going to Tennessee. And I told Olivia, I said, Olivia, we can get it right this time. And she said, yes, we can. And so then I called Eli and I said, Eli, all bets are off. You're coming to Ole Miss, and I don't want to hear anything else about it. And your mama and daddy both agree 1,000% with me. So fastest recruiting job I've ever done.
And that that endears you with the fans, obviously, to get Eli to Ole Miss.
Yeah, and it was a great start. We didn't have much. We had a building called the UMAA building. We didn't have a video center. We had to have our coaches meetings up there, and then we had to put VHS tapes in a egg crate and carry them down to another building by the stadium where we could meet with our players. And we had 2 locker rooms, and I took the guy building our house and at my own expense improved both locker rooms. Wilson Roberts, rest in peace, Wilson. He gave me a good deal, but it was embarrassing. And we found a way, again, collectively, with a lot of people that wanted to be great teammates, including coaches that we hired and the players that we recruited. And so that's what football can be. And that's a program. You're not trying to have a great team. You're trying to build a great program, which is more and more what we're losing in the era of everything going on in college football.
Which we're going to get that in just a second. I don't know, Chris, RJ, I don't know if we have video of the 7. So here's the deal. You've got 2 connections to Arkansas as a coach. One is the fumble, that led to, obviously winning the national championship. So
paybacks are hell.
I know. So we had Matt Jones and Eli Manning here at the Touchdown Club a couple years ago. It was the 20th anniversary of the 7 overtime game, which you were the head coach. Let's just, if we've got that ready, let's try punching it up. This is the last player.
I don't know why he didn't throw it to Shane Andrews.
No, that's not it.
There.
That's not it. That's okay. Listen, this looks like the Razorback offenses sometimes right there. I'm sorry. No, we don't want to do that. So just stop it. So, Coach, what happens on the overtime? You go. Who's this Matt Jones guy? They keep putting in?
I had no idea who he was, and I'm telling you, I'm lucky that I'm not a person that carries a firearm, because I may have shot him on that night. It was an unbelievable.
Have you ever seen anything like that? He was a freshman nobody knew about. Yeah.
Performance that you didn't know who this guy was, what, why. 7 overtimes, and people wonder why you have a limited. Now you go to 2-point plays to decide it. And I told these guys earlier, you try to be prepared as a coach. I learned this from Coach Bryant. He would write down on Wednesday night what you say to your team if you win. He would write down what he would say if we lost. And then he would write down in this era what he would say if we tied. And then he had a category that I had forgotten about called heartbreaker. Well, I was prepared, as I always was, for after the game. But I so vaguely remember walking off that field in the silence and going over and headed into the locker room. I didn't have any idea what to say. I couldn't find it. I'm thinking Coach Bryant helped me. Coach Majors helped me. And I never came up with anything. And so I was out of gas. And all I told them was, said, guys, I have nothing that I can tell you to make you feel better. I don't have words. I want you to have a real slow night. All of us need to go to bed where we can be in a position tomorrow to talk about this moving forward. And and it hurt us. It set us back, but it was a great lesson for all of us. It didn't end our year, and we were able to fight back and win. But Matt Jones, wherever you are, wow. But I will say this. Everybody wants to moan about officiating. Standing right next to the receiver was Shane Andrews, the big offensive lineman. Y'all remember how big he was?
Yes, we do.
And the officials couldn't see that was an offensive lineman downfield, 8 yards deep in the end zone.
Coach is going to the reps, going to the call.
Well, I did not know until I watched the film that night that even happened.
Yeah.
And, you just shake your head. Another thing Coach Bryant told me, and I don't know if y'all would agree with this or not, but he said, as a head football coach, don't waste any of your energy on officiating. He said, number one, you represent a lot of fine people on that sideline. Number two, as a head coach, when you lose it, you're taking energy from every player and every coach on your staff. Be the big man. Do not waste your energy. And I lived that, and I have old SEC officials, and I'm proud of this, come up to me and said, Coach, you were the best coach to work with that I can remember. And they didn't get them all right, but guess what? If y'all would hear me on the headsets, how many I missed, so.
So the great thing that you did, you won 10 games for the first time in 32 years at Ole Miss.
Yep.
After you leave Ole Miss, you go to Duke, and you win 10 games. I think I saw the first 10-game winners in 100 years. Did I read
it was.
Listen to this.
I think forever.
The first 10-game winner at Duke in football in 100 years. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. Steve Spurrier was there before you, did a good job, but you were able to do some amazing things at Duke.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Steve, my brother played with Steve at Florida. So when I got the job, Steve called me and said, well, congratulations, I think. He said, just try to win more than you lose if you can. I'm like, oh, yeah, boy, I'm fired up. And they had won 10 games in the previous 8 years.
Combined.
Yeah. And 20, I think it was 21 in the previous 15.
It's a basketball school. It's a basketball.
Well,
Coach K's there,
No question. And I had our coaches that I hired, I gave them travel gear that said Duke football. And everywhere we went, we got asked, Duke plays football? Yeah, we try to.
Amazing legacy, Coach. But now you're with the SEC. Somebody may not know this. I think your title is special liaison?
No, special assistant to the commissioner for football relations. Doesn't that sound like Dwight Schrute's job? I thought so.
What does that mean, Coach?
I took it myself and said relations is short for relationships. Yes. So I build relationships at all of our schools. I go into a facility and I want to meet everybody that's involved in the football program. I'm not worried about going rubbing elbows with the head coaches. First place I go is the equipment room. Because if you look at every college program, and many of you wouldn't understand it, but those guys in the equipment room is always next to the locker room.
Right.
And they know everything that's happening in that program. And it's amazing to get the information I get. And they know I'm an old coach, so they talk to me. And I've also made it a point to try to help them all I can. And so I have a couple of equipment guys. I'm more proud of this than anything else. They've put my picture up in the equipment room because I've taken some things they didn't like doing away from them.
So, Coach, it's a different world just in the last 3 or 4 years when you got out of coaching.
Yep.
Us old school folks, as a former player back in the 80s, not a big fan of what's happening. You're in it now. So what's your assessment of where we are with NIL, transfer portal and such?
Well, I think it's dangerous. I served on the football oversight committee as a coach. I was the only coach on this when name, image, and likeness was being tossed around. And as I listened to them describe the athlete being an independent to this, and they could get their own agent, and they could make money their own way, and I stopped them. I said, excuse me, I've got to interrupt you all. This is commissioners, ADs, presidents. And I said, have any of you on this Zoom ever recruited? No. So let me tell you something. This is going to be the wild, wild west. This is going to open up opportunities for players to be bought like never in the history of the game. No, it's not. That's illegal. Okay, you know. And so what I think we can do is claw at it a little bit. We also escalated the calendar. You all wouldn't remember how slow the recruiting process is. And I think it's important from a player perspective. Everything, I don't feel sorry for coaches. I really don't. Don't whine. Please, don't whine. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a fan of looking at how we're affecting student athletes. Everything has gotten so fast. People are making decisions on juniors in high school. And y'all may think that's great. Oh, he can play. Well, he can play, but can he play in our culture? Does he fit our needs? Is this a guy we're signing that we're going to stay with and develop? And then the player. Is this, my mother told me this, don't choose places, choose people. And if you start choosing money even instead of places, I talked to prospects at the time just to educate myself. I had a really national prospect tell me, he said, Coach, I've got all my official visits set up. I'm going to start with the one that's known to give the best front end name, image, and likeness offers. And once I have that, then I know it's going to escalate. And then I can get to the place where it's going to pay me the most money. And I couldn't even correct him. It broke my heart. So we need to find a way to adjust the calendar, which keeps us out of the courtroom. We can do that, and that we slow it down and we invest in young people at a rate to where we're trying to develop them rather than run them off or, send them off in the portal or go grab another one. How would you like to be a guy that's a third-year offensive guard and he's finally become a starter in spring practice, has worked like crazy, and then all of a sudden after spring ball, they go get a guard out of the portal, and when they come back in August, he's a backup again, and that guard's the starter. I don't care for that. So,
Coach, let me ask you this: Can anything change it without the NCAA? Is they've sort of checked out?
Remember who the NCAA is again. It's institutions,
right?
They work for us,
right?
So we can do something about it, but I listen to lawyers. Well, through the courts. That's why you hear rumors of going to politicians nationally. And one of the problems, and no offense to anybody, is when we start doing laws per state. And that's happening everywhere because state legislators don't want to get caught behind.
Right.
And you want to be able to recruit. And I understand all of that. But where does winning at all costs stop? When can we get back to teaching values to young people? And I know I'm an old romantic when it comes to what college football should be. But I'm looking, and I'm writing. I like to write. I write a lot. I'm looking at every avenue out of the courtroom that maybe we can slow it down. I mean, slowing it down is better than doing nothing, right? I mean, so that's my focus right now. Greg Sankey's brilliant, and he realizes if this thing continues that there's not an unlimited amount of money, folks, no matter what you think about, things that you read recently. It's not. And what football and television money has allowed us to do is to have other great programs in all the Olympic sports. And young people are getting educated and getting their dreams built. If this goes on, you're going to see a reduction in money that can be spent in those areas. You'll see the United States hurt in Olympic sports, in the Olympic Games. I mean, this is real. So it's serious business for serious people. And it's the only reason I agreed to take the job. When Commissioner talked to me, I said, Commissioner, I'm not going to stay quiet. I may rub you and may rub other folks wrong, but you're hiring a football coach. Okay. I'm not an administrator, and I'm not going to become an administrator. But I'm willing to fight. If something is worth fighting for, by gosh, go fight for it. That's the bottom line. So that's where we are, and it's hard.
Well, I think if this guy's out there fighting for college football, I think that's a good thing. David Cutcliffe, everybody. Coach, great job. Thank you.
David Cutcliffe. That was a lot of fun. Enjoyed hearing him talk. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to do some birthdays. We got something to give away, Christian? What are we doing today? I think I lost Christian.
For some reason, I couldn't hear you out of the studio, but I could hear you down the hall. But, we're going to give away Whiskey Myers tickets. That will be May 3rd.
Okay. Well, let's get those lined up. We'll do that when we come back. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Oaklawn. Great times at Oaklawn. Now's a good time to download your sports betting app. Make you a little money at Oaklawn. Got games. Well, we got games tonight. Thursday, of course, all kinds of NFL, college Friday, Saturday, NFL Sunday, a lot, and basketball. Got the Razorbacks down in the Bahamas Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So download your Oaklawn Sports app. Now they're making it easier than ever to put money into your account. Better yet, take money out of your account. That's the goal, right? Make a little money, put it into your bank account. Also, come visit Oaklawn's newest family-friendly, sports-themed bar and restaurant, the Mainline Sports Bar. It's in the Oaklawn Racing Grandstand. And speaking of Oaklawn, they'll be up and running a week from Friday, 2 weeks from Friday. December 9th, right around the corner. They're already practicing down at Oaklawn. The horses are in the at the track working out every single morning. Oaklawn's got fine dining, great food, great restaurants, of course, a casino, smoke-free facility. And it's a great place to stay. Go to Oaklawn.com. Book your reservations now. Make it a weekend getaway at Oaklawn down in Hot Springs.
He told me that I ought not to let you just walk on.
Razorback legend Quinn Grovey joins Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer on Drive Time Sports every Wednesday afternoon at 4. Brought to you by the DHR Group of Sonic Drive-Ins.
This is Sports Center.
The Thanksgiving week in pro and college football got started last night with a Super Bowl rematch as the Philadelphia Eagles go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs 21-17. The Eagles improved to 9-1 overall. The Chiefs dropped to 7-3. Kansas City had a 10-point advantage in the half. The Eagles erased that, outscoring Kansas City 14-0 in the second frame of the game. Jalen Hurts was 14 for 22 for 150 yards, but he ran for 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift also found the end zone as well. Tonight, the week in college football begins as there is Maction on a Tuesday. First at 6 o'clock on ESPNU, Bowling Green looks to get to 7-5 against Western Michigan. Then at 6:30 on ESPN2, Eastern Michigan looks to become bowl eligible as they take on Buffalo. I'm Josh Neighbors for the Buzz Radio Network.
It's the sale you've been waiting for all year long. Black Friday at Big O Tires. Up to $140 instant savings on select sets of Michelin tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper and Sumitomo tires. Instant savings and rebates on almost every tire we stock. Get ready for cold weather with huge savings on service too. Plus, 0% interest when you use your Big O credit card, which will leave a little something in Santa's pocket this Christmas.
The heavily traveled Thanksgiving holiday can be a dangerous time of year. That's why Arkansas law enforcement will be out in force over the next few weeks, saving lives by getting people to buckle up. If you fail to buckle up, you run the risk of getting a ticket, or worse, getting killed or injured. So this Thanksgiving, make sure the only belt you unbuckle is the one at the dinner table.
Click it or ticket. A reminder from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
This is Pat Bradley for River City Flooring, where you can pick your payment. Get 0% interest for 12, 24, or 36 months. And River City Flooring in Maumelle is where you'll save 50% on all in-stock waterproof LVP flooring. And did you know River City Flooring carries cabinets? So stop in and let my friends at River City Flooring help you with your remodel. Kitchen, bath, living, dining, they do it all. Check out River City Flooring in Maumelle at their huge new showroom on Maumelle Boulevard just off 430.
Hey y'all, this is Brandy and Leah from Frontier Diner, home of real country cooking. We have the best breakfast around. Check out our Facebook page for our daily lunch specials such as meatloaf, beef tips, and chicken dressing. Don't forget our cheeseburgers and sweet tea, sandwiches and salads, homemade desserts made fresh every day. Open for breakfast and lunch Monday through Saturday. Come see us at Frontier Diner in Little Rock. Take the Baseline exit off of I-30 across the interstate from Home Depot, where you come as guests and leave as family.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Drew Self in Hot Springs, Todd Matthews in Benton, or Alex Blake in Little Rock today.
Thanksgiving is almost here, which means it's time to start thinking about your holiday plans. This year, save time along with the worry and hassle and let the team at Edwards Food Giant do it for you. Their turkey dinner includes the turkey as well as their signature cornbread dressing, giblet gravy, cranberry sauce, and dinner rolls. All fully cooked, homemade, and ready for you to heat and serve to your family. If that's not enough, their deluxe turkey dinner also includes sweet potato casserole, green beans, and apple pie. Now that's what I call a Thanksgiving spread. Click on EdwardsFoodGiant.com to view their full menus and find out how to order your dinner.
Rock out with the only American-style sushi experience founded on great food and rock and roll. Rock and roll sushi. Deliciously twisted flavors and a rock and roll vibe that'll blow your mind. Cater your next event, lunch, or dinner. Get the party started. 80 to 240 pieces of sushi platter. Rock and roll! Rock and roll sushi for lunch or dinner. Order at rockandrollsushi.com.
With 4 locations to choose from in Benton, Conway, and 2 in Little Rock.
Once a year, Saracen gives away a coveted BMW to one lucky winner. This week is that special time, and you could be the winner of an amazing BMW X5 SUV from Saracen Casino and BMW of Little Rock. Play to win a top-of-the-line BMW SUV only at Saracen Casino Resort. Just 40 minutes away, Saracen is Little Rock's closest place to play and win a BMW X5 SUV Saturday night.
Saracen Casino Resort, Vegas, Arkansas style.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Football fans, tailgate season is here, which means it's time to score touchdowns and savings for your vehicle. At All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros, we offer incredible deals and service like your daddy used to get, with the financing options that fit your budget. With our team by your side, you'll get MVP service along with the traction and confidence you need to stay on the road. Visit us online today at allabouttireandbrake.com. All About Tire and Brake Tire Pros. Love the drive.
Where can you find 16 cold beers on tap, the largest Irish whiskey selection in town, weekday happy hour, as well as college, pro, and even World Cup football games all on big screen TVs? Oh, and let's not forget the great food, great drinks, daily lunch specials, music on the weekends, and a private party room available with reservation. Well, of course it's Dugan's Pub, your favorite Irish pub in Little Rock since 2010. Dugan's Pub, downtown 3rd and Rock Street, Dugan'sPubLR.com.
Guadney Chevrolet has consistently been at the top when it comes to new Chevy sales in their zone. Justin Acre for my friends up in Jacksonville. And you know that Guadney Chevrolet surpasses all the dealers from Northeast Arkansas all the way to Mississippi. And that success in new car sales has resulted in an overstock of trade-in used vehicles. So you need to get out there and take advantage of the liquidation sale they've got on used cars right now. It beats anything in the market. And to make it happen, they partnered with Capital One to get everyone approved for the biggest discounts of the year. Every major manufacturer is represented, and they're all good enough for mom. That is the Guadney Chevrolet seal of approval. You know that. People you can trust, people you've worked with for a long time, and since 1957, the leader around these parts when it comes to car deals. Used Tracks also being offered as low as $299 a month. They've got used Sparks as low as $299 a month, and you can get a used Rogue as low as $174 a month. That is just the tip of the iceberg. New, pre-owned, doesn't matter. You're going to get treated right. Go see our friends at Guadney Chevrolet. It's in Jacksonville on the Gregory Street exit and online at GuadneyChevrolet.com.
Too busy to call into the show? Text us on the Southern Structural Solutions text line at 501-661-1037 or message us on the Asher Wrecker Live fan feedback. Now, back to the zone.
The sale you've been waiting for is here. It's Black Friday at Big O Tires, up to $140. Instant savings on select set of Michelin tires. Buy 3, get 1 free on Cooper tires and Sumitomo tires. Instant savings and rebates on almost every tire they have in stock. You can also get ready for cold weather with huge savings on service. Plus 0% interest when you use your Big O credit card. Big O Tires. Cabot and Conway. Conway, they're on Harkrider, and Cabot, it's Prospect Court. Well, check them out. Big O Tires, they are the team we trust. Westmore and Christian Weaver finishing it up. Little Rock Touchdown Club just wrapped up. Coach Cutcliffe was awesome. I don't know how many people have walked out here, just been very happy with some of the things that he had to say. So it was a lot of fun. That was a good day. Christian, we still got to do birthdays.
We do, and John is here. He's ready to play.
Do you have some contestants?
Yes, Will, you will be with Wes, and Jeff, you will be represented by John. Here we go.
Birthday trivia in the zone is brought to you by Elia's Mexican Grill. Headed to the hill? Take exit 108 from either direction for award-winning Mexican food made fresh every day. It's Elia's in Morrilton.
All right. We ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This lady is an actress. She was in movies such as Overboard, but I mostly know her.
Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, there we go. Being married to Kurt Russell and being Kate Hudson's mom. Goldie Hawn. How old's Goldie Hawn?
Ooh.
John.
Goldie Hawn is 77.
Wes?
78.
She is 78.
Bam. Good job, John.
Yeah, good job, Wes.
All right, this guy's a TV host now. He used to be a defensive end in the NFL.
Michael Strahan.
It is Michael Strahan. John got it in case there's a delay, Wes.
Dang.
Hey, it happens to me all the time. But how old is Strahan, Wes?
54.
I'm going to say he's 48.
Ooh.
He's right in the middle at 50. No, he's 52, so Wes gets the point.
Oh, my gosh.
3-2. Here we go. We got 2 more. Audio clue. One hit wonder, sort of.
Oh, jeez. What is her name?
3 of them.
Yep.
3 names. He's also in that Owl City song.
Yeah, I know this song.
Everybody knows this song.
That's true. It's a very popular song.
People actually really like her. Like
Isn't her? Is the second way? Is it Ray?
It is.
Yep.
That is her middle name.
Yep.
I know her first name. I don't know her last name.
We can combine forces.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Carly.
It is
Carly Ray.
Jepsen.
Jepsen. I could not think of Jepsen.
Man, good.
All right, one more. 3-2. This guy's a Hall of Fame baseball player. He played most notably for the Mariners and the Reds.
Ken Griffey.
He played with his
Ken Griffey.
Which
Junior.
I'm going to give it to Wes.
I should.
Happy birthday, Ken Griffey Jr. How old does he turn? John.
He is.
You need a bingo bango to tie.
52.
54. Wes wins.
Bang.
Will wins.
Yes, Will.
Stupid Carly Ray Jepsen.
Ah. I didn't realize that was her only hit.
Well, she was in that one song with Owl City, the Good Time song or whatever. Oh, it's always a good.
Yeah, yeah.
She was a featured artist in that. Yeah.
What do y'all got? What are y'all doing, John?
Well, today, Chris Kane's going to be actually joining us in studio.
Really?
Out and filling in. So, yeah, he'll be here once he's done, with his Touchdown Club duties. So he'll be joining us. But Joshua Braun, also from Arkansas Razorback offensive lineman, that will be joining us to talk a little bit about not only this past game, but also moving forward into their game against Missouri and what it means to him to have Sam Pittman back as the head coach officially. So looking forward to catching up with him and talking about Thanksgiving and some of the cool things that he has going on in his life. So, yeah, we'll get into that too, and also get in really more so into the NIL, because now Sam Pittman kind of changed his tune about NIL. What changed? We'll talk about that.
I think the money changed. The amount of money that he's getting is changing.
But see, I think it's even deeper than that. I think it's more so of things that have changed as far as how the NIL is handled, more so than anything.
Yeah.
But that's just my
Real Dick Tracy over here.
yeah. That's just my implication.
You either get with the times or you get left behind, right?
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
I
But
think-
as I tried to tell people yesterday, even though some didn't agree, Mike, NIL was not the problem with this year's team. It wasn't.
Oh, I think it was a huge problem with the team, the way some of the players handled their NIL money.
Well, yeah, okay. So, yeah, if you want to do that, that's a different thing. I'm talking about just not having funding, not having money. Like, that was not the issue with this team this year.
No, I think we all thought this was a talented enough team to win 8-9 games.
Right.
It was, it was a disaster. It was just a bad
Yes,
year.
it was.
But I do think part of the problem with this team was the money the NIL money, and it created a rift among some of the players.
I mean, that could be the case. I don't know. It's like if it may be a little bit more evident once you see how many players end up leaving after the season, I think, and moving on to go somewhere else. Maybe that'll be a good indication of it. But
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of always been the fear of NIL is like how much will that cause problems in the locker
No
room,
doubt.
people getting more than others. But I don't know. I just look at it as, hey, unless you can do what the other guys can do, unless you're the superstar, then sorry. It's just the way it is. It's the way life is.
What about Josh Braun? Is he coming back?
Is he
eligible? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is only his third year.
Oh.
So, yeah, he's 100% coming back.
I did not know that. Okay. I thought.
Yeah. And what's also crazy is he's dealt with a coaching change in every single year that he's been a college athlete in some capacity.
Yeah.
He's like Jason Campbell that just got
whether
1,000 offensive coordinators.
Yeah, like offensive line coaches or coordinators or whatever. He's had to deal with one every single year. But it'll be good to talk with him.
Wow. Okay. I can't wait to hear it. John, thanks. Christian, great job. We'll be in the studio tomorrow. It is another packed day. Quinn Grovey, Clint Sterner, Kevin Kelly, Joe Klein. A lot to get to. Join us tomorrow on The Zone. Have a great day, everybody.
Eat My Catfish's top secret employee menu is back, featuring irresistible new creations like Noya's Cajun Blackened Chicken Dinner and Ms. Patty's famous onion rings. Go to eatmycatfish.com to view